ask me, and she'll like, "Don't say pizza." I'm like, "Well, you asked me what I want, so
yeah,
like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like this relationship is built on trust."
and I trust that you know I want pizza.
Right, exactly. Like, don't say pizza. I'm like, well, you asked me what I want, so
yeah.
like, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh
like,
crap! What
this
is
relationship is built on trust.
All right, here you go. Oh man, I can't laugh tonight, so don't make any jokes.
Don't be funny
okay.
about it.
Yeah, don't be funny.
We'll have a very boring, completely no joke show tonight.
Lowe's already done his one. He's done.
Yeah, that's it.
I thought that was his one pun, not his one joke.
That's true. Yeah,
He's not
puns
really
are
a pun
different from
guy.
jokes. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I'm not really a pun guy.
Yeah, that's my thing.
All right, I'm gonna put this up. I'm gonna cut off my AC. Alrighty, Justin, what are you looking at?
My phone.
All right, cool.
We haven't started yet.
All right. Crap! I wrote down the intro for this one. Oh well.
Do you have a new intro?
I was gonna do the thing with like the only podcast that exists outside time and space, the Chart Shot Gamescast, featuring.
Well, yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Featuring your host Thomas and Justin and Lo.
Wait, was that the intro?
Yeah, we're done.
Oh.
He's really serious about being not funny.
Yeah, that wasn't a very majestic intro.
You just kind of just
like, I'm gonna do this for the intro this time, and then like it's just over. You already did it.
I thought that was like a practice or something, you know.
But also, you don't want me to be funny, so I feel like I can't comment on how dumb that was. It's gonna be a rough night.
Welcome to the Charge Shot. Blah, blah, blah. Welcome to the Charge Shot Gamescast, the only episodes that exist outside of time and space, featuring your host tonight, Thomas. I'm well enough just to speak, so I guess that's a thing. And Justin.
You said the only episode that exists outside of time and space. We have to do it again.
No, I have limited vocal abilities, and I need to be well enough for E3 next week.
2 weeks.
Again, outside time and space.
Fair point. Move on.
Lo. What are you? How's it going?
Hello, everyone. What's that?
How's it going, buddy?
How's it going? I'm good. How are you? You know what you should do? You should trap yourself inside an infinite time loop until you get better. That way you can just hop back into the time stream just without skipping a beat.
I should go into a hyperbolic time chamber, so that way it's only a day in real life, but it's a year, and I have a year to get over my cold, which is...
You could do that too. I mean, the hyperbolic time chambers, that's like a pocket dimension kind of deal, isn't it? I think. I don't know.
I mean, technically, if we exist outside of time and space, then you are both better and not better for the rest of eternity.
That's true.
Fuck.
He's in a perpetual state of just being good and bad.
At the same time, depending on which existence you decide to live in at any given time. And you probably don't even have a choice. It's just whatever is decided for you at that moment. That's why, like, you thought you were feeling better, and then you're like, no, I can't do the watch along this week with you. Leaving us without a charged up episode this week. It's Thomas's fault. And then you're like, oh, I'm better now, but like you're kind of still not.
No,
but like you're here.
I need to be here because it's the E3. Like we're gonna just talk about E3 stuff. Because it's next week, right?
All right, we can't make jokes. Yeah, totally.
That's not helping.
He's so funny. He's so funny. He's even funny when he's not making jokes. When
Like
he's
the video
not being funny, it's still hilarious.
The video version's gonna have all my coughs in it, but the audio version's gonna be out like no coughs. So.
Oh, good.
So if you're sick of me coughing,
editing.
You should really make yourself some tea.
Dude, I've been chucking down teas like every day, like 3-4 teas a day.
Like actual tea or like Lipton, like.
I don't know. This is the rose shit that you like throw water into and then you put honey into it.
The real okay. I just want to make sure because some people.
Is it real shit? Like I don't fucking know, man. Like,
well, if you're using if it's a tea bag, if you're using tea bags, then yes, it's real tea.
If it's in a tea bag or if it's loose tea that's in an infuser, you're good.
Yeah.
If it's in a bottle, no.
Right.
Lipton's in a bottle and it's garbage because there's sugar and crap in it.
Lipton does have the bag tea.
But isn't that just iced tea?
That's just like that's just like kind of like
that iced tea. Iced tea is like not tea. It's like sugar water that's like lemon flavored.
Yeah, if you buy your tea like pre-packaged in a store, it's not good for you.
Right.
But
that's really true of anything. But...
Isn't it the same thing as bag tea though?
No.
Well, there's certain
because big tea, you're steeping yourself, and it's just the tea leaves and water. Like that's it.
Well, I mean, because there's also like different levels of quality too. You can like get like one of those like bags that has like 500 tea bags for like $5.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I have.
It's like serviceable tea, but then there's also like the good like chamomile and the Earl Greys and all that fancy.
Yeah, I'm not all about that fancy shit.
Or like the cool like loose teas you can get from Teavana and put it in your own infuser.
Oh,
like we have.
I love Teavana. So good.
Yeah, we got these cute little like matching his and her manatee tea infusers, and it's just like they're manatees. They sit on the rug, and they've got little holes in them that you put that like infuse the tea.
That's perfect for you.
I love couple things.
Right? They're adorable. Welcome to the Charge Shot Tea Cast, brought to you by Teavana.
I'll talk about tea all day. What do you guys put in your tea normally? Like milk, sugar, or just milk, honey? What do you guys do?
Depends on the tea itself.
Yeah, I actually got really in, like in Ireland, I got really into like breakfast tea, where they have like there's the black tea and then you put some milk in it, and you can do sugar, but I didn't really want sugar in mine. But yeah, just like black tea and milk was actually really good. But at home, I usually do green tea, so it's just literally green tea, sometimes honey, but not usually. Yeah. And then if I'm sick, I'll do a hot toddy, which is like whiskey, whatever kind of tea you have, and like lemon.
It just sounds like an alcoholic drink, but yeah.
It is, but it's for like it's for your throat.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good drink.
Which kind of numbs things.
Yeah.
It's the Irish cure.
I don't know if that's Irish actually.
I don't know, it's a whiskey.
A hot toddy?
Yeah. Is whiskey's Irish, right? And then Scott
I mean,
I don't know.
Authentic whiskey is Scotland or Ireland, but there's also whiskeys like with an E, whiskey out of like Canada Tennessee. And Kentucky are big ones.
Tennessee.
There's Japanese whiskey too. I've had Japanese.
Oh, there
whiskey.
is?
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's weird.
It's a Scottish thing, a hot toddy.
All right.
And it's hot like Scottish whiskey ideally. Honey and either like some people do like lemon or cinnamon stick or just something in there to kind of like give it a little extra.
Yeah.
But we usually do like lemon juice because it's got that acidity in there that kind of helps and like adds the vitamin C.
Yeah, definitely.
I normally take my teas as milk and sugar, but lately I've been just taking it milk, cutting out the sugar.
Yeah,
it seems fine.
Yeah, that's good.
I still like it. I like the taste of tea.
Me too.
Tea is good.
Like I don't trust. Like I would put honey in right now if I had it, but the honey downstairs we have looks really like grimy. I don't trust it, so I've not been putting it in.
And you have to have good like organic honey, or else it's basically just like sugar that's been
It's like the honey we have. It used to be liquid, and now it's like frozen over. Not frozen over, but it's been like solidified.
Yeah.
Crystallized, yeah.
Crystallized,
Yeah.
sure. It's gross.
Yeah.
Anyways, Justin, what have you been playing
Yeah,
this
you want
week?
to get that real stuff.
I've been playing a little bit here and there. I haven't actually gotten to play too much stuff, but after, we'll get into it in the news, obviously, but after the announcement of the new Pokemon games, I jumped back into Pokemon Go because I had stopped for a while because like I never left the house and there's not really anything around me. And so I never loaded it up. But like if I went on a trip or something like that, I'd boot it up to see if there was anything around me. You know, while I'm walking, I'd get some candies from whatever Pokemon I had on my side, that kind of thing. But I'd kind of forgot about it recently because I was unemployed and didn't go anywhere. But like my new job is like downtown. And so like just on the 5-minute walk from like the parking garage to my office, there's like 6 to 8 Pokestops and Pokemon just like pop up all over the place. And so I jumped back in just like for that walk. And like there's a lot that's different about that game now. Like I don't want to spend too much time talking about a mobile game that's, you know, 2 years old now, but like obviously they added in the 3rd gen Pokemon recently. So I've still been going through and getting those because I haven't really played it much since that was released. And then they started with the Alolan versions of the Gen 1 Pokemon from Sun and Moon, but they only have the Alolan Executor out right now. So like you'll be walking on a map and this like obnoxious like tall palm tree just pops up and obscures all of the vision of everything around it. And then you go to fight it and it goes to the battle screen and it's just like cut off at the neck. So like when it attacks you, like its head kind of comes down into view and it just like boops you in the head. Like if it was 3D, it would like look like it's coming out of your phone. And it's just the stupidest thing ever, but like I get it. Like I get why they released this one and have this whole event of like they're popping up all over the place and like it works. It's fun. It works. But outside of all just the content added, there's like a lot of new like things in the game. There's like research now, which is really cool. It's kind of like a story mode in there. So you're like following this Pokemon researcher on his quest to find Mew. And so you have to do these different like research things, which are basically daily challenges, or daily or weekly or ongoing, or, you know, there's different versions. But like the daily or weekly challenges get you like stamps. And once you get a certain number of stamps, you can battle a legendary Pokemon. That's whatever's out at that time. And you can do that like once a week. So like for June, the legendary Pokemon is Articuno. So you get all those stamps, it pulls up an Articuno battle, and you can catch Articuno. And you can do that every week and get 4 Articunos in a month. And then, like, with the next month, there's going to be a different legendary and stuff like that. So it's like, it encourages you to do different things. So it kind of mixes up the gameplay a little bit. Like, I saw one of the like, accomplishments or whatever, the research things was to get, like, 5 nice throws. So like instead of just kind of haphazardly throwing the ball until you get something, it's like, you know, actually encouraging you to time it out and like What? I heard feedback or something. That's weird. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then there's also just kind of like an ongoing set of research things in order to find Mew. And so that's like more complicated things like hatching like 5 eggs. Or like getting, you know, a certain number of candies from whatever Pokemon you're walking with, that kind of thing, like the longer form challenges. Just kind of an encouragement to keep playing the game, but like the tangible rewards for that, rather than just like energy in most mobile games, is actually really appealing because you do get stuff for like each challenge you complete, which could be like a battle against a less rare Pokemon. Like I randomly completed one and then like get jolted into a battle with Aerodactyl. I was like, where'd this come from? I think another one was like Steelix or something. But yeah, those kind of came out of nowhere, and I didn't realize at first they were tied to completing those research goals. And I guess I am going to spend a while talking about a mobile game. Oh, well. And I'm in the Pokemon hype right now. And there'll also be just like, you know, kind of Pokestop rewards, like the different incubators, Pokeballs, things like that. and experience boosts, things like that. So like all those little bonuses, but also like you're working towards a larger goal of like a really rare Pokemon you can't get in any other way. And it does kind of help you actually play the game more and like in a little bit more actively than you would otherwise. So I'm actually kind of impressed with it. Like I forgot that that's actually a good mobile game. The only reason I wasn't playing it more was because of the GPS stuff. But now that I'm actually like out and about again, it's like, man, I actually really enjoyed that when I was actually getting out and playing it. And now that it's hot, I have incentive to like go out and walk, and stuff. Because I love our downtown anyway. It's beautiful. So then I'm like working down there. It's like, oh yeah, I can play Pokemon here. But aside from that, I actually I hacked my 3DS. Don't tell anyone.
We're gonna censor that out.
Yeah, I like how that audio spike being close to the mic was way louder than anything else I've said. Stage whisper. And I've been playing around with that a little bit. Like it's mostly just because I was talking to Abba, you know, our friend of the show, Abba, and he did it first because we've been trying to get me, him, and Metal Blade did a series on Triforce Heroes, like the Zelda game, for a while, and we beat the main storyline and everything. But we were going to go back and do all of like the challenge mode stuff, because they're just like really hard, kind of like optional levels you can do afterwards. They're not tied to the story or anything, but like you get some new costumes and stuff from them. But we were going to take a break for a while and then come back to that. And then like job changes, we all got married, like all this stuff happened, and it's kind of never happened. And then Abba's 3DS broke like at the hinge, so he couldn't use it for a while.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, he's been trying for a while to figure out a way to like get recording working again on the 3DS, because it was his Capture 3DS that broke, and those aren't exactly cheap to replace. And so he figured out that if you hack your 3DS, like your new 3DS, not the old ones, you can do like a Wi-Fi streaming to your PC. So it basically like it goes through kind of like a receiver on the PC side, and then an app on your hacked 3DS that lets you send the signal over Wi-Fi to that program. And it's actually not terribly resource heavy or anything. But it's a little choppy frames wise because it's still pretty new. So like I was noticing, like when I tried it, I was noticing it was averaging between like 25 and 35 frames a second. But it felt like it was kind of filling in those frames in between every now and then. So it wasn't a super smooth frame rate, but like it was, I mean, it was streaming it and it was pretty decent quality. So, you know, you drop that program feed into OBS and boom, you've got Wi-Fi streaming of whatever you're playing.
Nice.
So I kind of wanted to try that out, just like, because I've wanted to record stuff from 3DS games before, usually A Link Between Worlds. And like I'll have to go to like ABBA or like the Darklight Bros or, you know, someone that has a hacked or a modded 3DS and be like, hey, can you capture this footage for me? And I'd like to be able to do that stuff for myself if I want to do like a list on 3DS games or something. So I just kind of wanted that as an option. And I figured, hey, if I can hack my 3DS without like, you know, soldering anything into it or whatever, I might as well give it a try.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to whisper. Dang it. And so I spent like one night just kind of going through that. It's actually not a hard process. It's just like time consuming because it's a lot of like you take the micro 3DS or micro SD card out of your 3DS, hook it into your PC, like transfer a bunch of files between 3DS and PC. Kind of like, you know, you have to do some stuff to like modify the files, then put them back on the card, back in your 3DS, like open up a specific game that's loaded onto it that like, you know, boots the hack into your 3DS. And then you can like load the homebrew channel and stuff on there. And like, it's not bad. And it's almost impossible to actually like hard brick your 3DS. I'm not advocating for this, by the way. I'm just saying what I did and that it's not that bad. Obviously you have your own ethical concerns and everything. But I'm a dummy and I could do it. So, you know, PSA out there if you want. There's places on the, I won't tell you how to do it, but there's places on the internet you can find it. So yeah, after I got all that done, I actually tried to play a few of the games that I had on a 3DS emulator instead. just to see how they ran on like an actual 3DS because they weren't running super smoothly on the emulator. And so I've been playing a little bit of 3DS games this week to bury the lead. I jumped into Metroid Prime Federation Force just because I wanted to see if it's actually as bad as it looks. And oh boy, it is. I played through the tutorial, which it starts with just like a training simulator of how to shoot, and that actually felt really good. And then you actually like have to move around and do the platforming stuff, like like a normal Metroid Prime game, and the controls are awful. Like there's just to take a brief second on this. There's two control schemes. One of which feels like it's built for old 3DSs, and one of which is built for the new 3DS with like the the C, the little nipple, and the extra like ZL, ZR buttons.
The touch nipple.
Yes, the little touch nipple. And so the first mode feels kind of like traditional Metroid Prime, where like you've got the main stick to move. You hold like L, I think, to strafe. You hold. Or like free aim. I don't remember exactly what it is, but something like strafes you basically, and you can't like free aim unless you like hold a lock on button and then also hold the free aim button while you're locked on, and then like whilst being still, you can move the control stick to change your aim. And this wouldn't be that big of a deal, except for the fact that like in Metroid Prime games, you can usually like strafe while locked on and moving your aim.
Right.
And this, you pretty much have to stay still, as far as I remember it, because I didn't play for super long because I got tired of the controls. But like, if you're locked on and shooting at something, you're not always going to hit it, because if it's moving around a bunch, you have to kind of go into free aim and like kind of plan where it's going. They're going to be, so you hit them. So that's a lot of like holding yourself still and then like free aiming while locked on to make sure you actually hit them, which just feels awkward and unintuitive. Again, it felt great when I was stationary, like doing the practice, but in the game, it felt awful. And the second mode feels like it should be better because you actually have like full free aim on the little C nipple. But whereas like on the other version, like your jump and shoot and everything was on the face buttons, and like I said, your lock on and like your like free aim and stuff were tied to L and R. In the other mode, your lock on is ZL, which is like awkwardly like to the right of your L button, and it's just kind of like a little far in to like hold on to as a lock button. And like your jump and strafe is on L. So you constantly like kind of I know audio listeners can't understand this, but like on the layout of a 3DS, it's like you've got your ZL button here and then your L button, and it's like you're holding ZL and like you're just constantly accidentally hitting L. So it's like you just kind of randomly strafe or jump while you're trying to stay locked on, and then R shoots, and like I said, you have free aim on the nipple, and you can just move freely. Like that all feels good, but it's just like that L and ZL combo is so awkward that it kind of ruins everything else about it. And if they could just do a combination of both of those, like have you be able to actually like modify the control scheme a little bit, you could get a really good control scheme out of that game because there's enough buttons to do it. But you just have the choice between those two. And in the regular kind of like Metroid Prime style controls, you'd think if you have a new 3DS, you'd still be able to use the nipple to free aim. But no, it only goes up and down for some reason. It makes no sense. So like that control scheme would be perfect if you could use the free aim, option on the nipple, but you can't.
That's so weird.
So you have to go into the other mode to use the free aim on the nipple, but then all the other buttons are out of whack. So it's so stupid. And the game isn't even that fun. So like if it was actually fun and the controls were kind of obnoxious, I would forgive it. But no, it's not even fun. And the graphics are still ugly. I hate the art style. And yeah, it's upsetting. Because I was going to say like, hey, Abba, maybe I'll try this with you in multiplayer and it won't be so bad. But I sent a message back. I'm like, never mind. I tried the controls. I don't want to play this with you. But I also grabbed Pokemon Ultra Sun because I played Sun or Moon. I don't remember which. And like I liked that gen a lot. Like there's a lot of good new Pokemon in it. Cinematically, it's great. Like just the way it feels like the next evolution of Pokemon. Because X and Y were really boring and forgettable, and like they just streamlined a lot of things that felt like they were dated. But Ultra Sun is basically the same game. Like it's not like a sequel, like Black 2 and White 2 were to Black and White.
Wait, a Pokemon game is the same? This is amazing.
You shut your whore mouth. I prefer when. But like, it's also not really a third version because it's like there's not enough different about it. You know what I mean? So like they put out 2 versions of it, but it is essentially like the third version, but without that much changed. And so I'm still fine with it. Like I'm playing back through it because it's been a while since I played the originals, and like it's a really good generation. So like I'm fine with playing it again. Like I feel bad for anyone that like bought Sun and Moon and then like, you know, launch day bought Ultra Sun or Moon and expected something different when they're really basically the same games. So that's a little disappointing, but I'm still enjoying them. And then finally, I've tried to talk about it before, but I've never actually gotten to play it. I checked out Kirby Planet Robobot because I could not get that to work on Citra on the 3DS emulator, and it runs perfectly on 3DS, and that game is fantastic. It might be the best Kirby game. Like they made all of the powers in it feel unique. Like they all have like multiple things they can do. There's no just like one, you know, like a throwaway power that can only do one thing. Even Stone, they made Stone an interesting, like diverse power set where, you know, if you just like jump in the air and hit down, it does the normal like crash down with the stone. But like you can hold, like you can do a direction and like hold B, and it does like this big like uppercut stone punch.
Oh, nice.
And you can like kind of do a slide and like turn into stone attack on the ground.
Oh.
And like there's variety to it. Like I didn't expect them to be able to like find ways to make every power set feel unique, but they did. And they're great. And they combined some like plasma and spark into one so that it kind of, you know, makes some more diversity there, but in smart ways. And then like the robot thing is actually really cool. Because it's just different enough. Like when you're in the robot suit, it's like every power you get has its own move set, like as a robot, and some of them are super cool. Like I got the sword as a robot, and you like become this big, like double sword fisted, like Pacific Rim type, Jaeger, and you just like smashing through everything and like cutting down like chain links on platforms, and it's like you're a beast with like cool double blades, like Zero style.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of diversity to that game, and like you're jumping back and forth between the foreground and background like you were in Triple Deluxe, but the levels don't feel as like tedious and kind of like generically laid out like they did in that game. It actually feels like they made a smartly built world and like added some really cool mechanics to it, even though it's still, I mean, it's still an easy Kirby game. But like it's actually fun to play. So I'm really glad I'm finally getting to check that one out. It's been way too long, and I kind of wish I would have bought it. I mean, I still could technically, but I kind of wish I would have bought it like back at launch time because I am actually really impressed with it. But yeah, I might have more to report on 3DS games in the future, but those are the 3 I had kind of like been sleeping on for a while and wanted to jump into. Technically 2. Pokemon I grabbed because I'm kind of hyped for it and I wanted to play some more Pokemon. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I jumped into a little bit more Assassin's Creed just because like I wanted to make sure my computer was fixed, and I was like, this is the game that taxes my computer the hardest. And it still crashed in 45 minutes. Well, the game crashed in 45 minutes because it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy that game in this short like half an hour to hour long bursts I can play it in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we definitely, Thomas, need to finish A Way Out this weekend.
Yeah.
Now that I know my computer won't crash during it. Like I'm super excited to actually be able to play things long term.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
so, we're gonna beat that.
We'll do that this weekend. I'm just trying to look up how much the Kirby game costs because I might buy it.
Oh yeah, it's great. Like I don't advocate 3DS games very often, especially not now, but it's honestly worth it.
Well, you and Ben are
and
both
we did
saying that it's like the best Kirby game. So
yeah, he's why I needed to jump into it finally, and he was super excited I got to try it.
yeah.
But yeah, we did also jump into some more Destiny too. I forgot that that was last weekend, like right after I got everything fixed. Yeah, we tried the DLC out a little bit
on this podcast.
I know. I just wanted to say we tried out the DLC a little bit, and it's pretty okay. I like Frozen Mars.
Yeah.
But we'll get more into it later.
Yeah. Nice. Lo, what have you been up to?
Well, I was gonna jump into some Destiny.
Okay, so Lo's video right now, it's all bright and sunny, and then for me, it's like it's just all dark. There's like no sunlight. So I'm like, what kind of time capsule is he living in right now?
You're also like super fuzzy because for some reason I never have a good feed of you.
It's just the internet connection. Lo comes out fine for me, but for you, it's all fuzzy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Lo, go ahead. Sorry, I got distracted by my.
Oh no, it's all good.
Hallucinations by being sick.
But I was gonna jump into some Destiny 2 this week. Doing these meditation things to. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. It was like replaying the story missions because I was like going for it's basically like the armor you start with, but like better. Anyways, so I went to go into the game and I was like, oh, there's server maintenance and people will probably suffer from interruptions or disconnects or something. Okay, cool, whatever, fine. So then I left, came back later, booted up the game, and then it just started playing like the opening like cinematic and like. And then, you know, it's Nolan North is just monologuing. I'm like, wait, Nolan North, why are you monologuing right now? I already heard this whole thing. Like, so that I was really confused. So then I just went through, I thought maybe, I don't know, maybe just settings in the game reset or something like that. So then went through all that stuff. Then I just hopped back in so I can hit the change character. And then so I go in, I created like a new character. It was like a female hunter type. She has purple hair. She's really cute.
Cool.
So then I hop back to the character select screen and then my original warlock that I had, my like badass dude with the dreads, and he was like light level 330, 340, something like that, just gone. Nowhere to be seen. I'm like, what is going on here? This is weird. Like, I don't understand. Like, what? How did it? Like, it's just gone. So then, like, I looked into it, and like, there's a few other instances of of this occurring. However, it's unfortunately. The character data and stuff like that, it's stored on the server side. So like once it's gone, once you delete a character, there's like nothing you can do about it. And then I even like every like other Google search like led me to the same place, and it led to the same like thing on Bungie's website saying we don't restore characters whether even if it was like accidental or whether it was accidental or somebody hacked your account or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, oh well, I'm pretty sure maybe I got hacked. I don't know. Changed my password though, and I went and added the 2-step verification just in case. But man, that's a bummer. Like, I put some good time to that character. I had found like a loadout that I liked. I found like my primary and like my power weapon that was my go-to. Was that cool looking weird dome rocket launcher thing? It was shot the rockets everywhere. It was awesome. It was cool. I had my popcorn emote. It's all gone. All of it.
Man.
All of it. It's gone. And the worst part
I say we riot.
I say we sue Bungie.
Like at first I was like, man, this really sucks, but whatever. Life goes on. I'll just start over. And then like I thought about it a few hours later, then I'm just like, man, I was in denial a few hours ago. This really sucks. Like I have to go through all that stuff again. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like a lot of that stuff wasn't like hard to get because it was just me just like shooting at stuff. Oh, hey,
it's a lot of time though, man. Cool. Like you spent a lot of time.
It is a lot of time. I don't know like how many hours I had put into it up to that point. I don't know if there's a way to check, but it was a good amount, you know, it was a decent amount, you know. But still, that sucked. So so I was a little salty about that, but I'll probably hop into that hopefully this weekend if I have some time and just start over again, you know. Yeah. But so after that I was just like well, I need to play something. Like I need to play some kind of like shooter or something like that. So then I remembered that I had gotten Rage a while back and I like hopped into it for a little bit and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then like I never played again after that. So then I was like, oh, I'll hop back into this. And then I like played it for a couple hours, and that game's really cool. It's a cool game. It's pretty looking. It's a really pretty looking game. Vehicle combat's great. It's a lot of vehicle based stuff. I kind of wish I don't know like if there's gonna be more like running around and shooting at people, but I kind of want more of that because like the shooting mechanics are really cool because it's the id Tech 5 engine, whatever it was, you know. But solid shooting mechanics and stuff. Cool game, and played a little bit of that, and after that I had actually played a little bit of Portal Knights, which is a game I didn't think I would really be that interested in, but like it like popped up on Steam and I was like, oh, okay, whatever, like I'll look into it. And then like the reviews were like, all right, so I'm like, okay, whatever. It's a builder. I'm not really that into builders that often. The only other one I really enjoyed was what's it called, Terraria. Yeah, I put some hours into that, built some cool stuff. But so then I hopped into this game and it's really neat. It's kind of like Minecraft mixed with a lot of people say it's Minecraft and Zelda, but like I can definitely see like where like that influence comes in, because it actually has like a neat little like combat and like RPG type of like system. There's like progression and stuff like that. I mean, on the it's just really interesting because on the cover, just solely looking at the cover, it just looks like a kid's game or something like that. But it actually has a little bit of depth to it, so it's pretty cool.
Is this what Cube World is supposed to be? I don't know if you guys ever remember.
You know, I've heard about Cube World, and I would assume so. I would assume that's kind of what they were going for. But
man,
there was this other one. It was a builder as well, and it kind of had like a similar sort of art style to this one. It was called Sky Saga, but that game got discontinued at some point, I guess.
Oh yeah, I was playing that for a while. That was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had gotten invited to an alpha. I was like, oh, maybe I'll check that out. And then by the time I got around to it, it was like, oh, sorry, our doors are closed. We're not developing the game. And you're like, oh crap. So then I jumped in. That's kind of why, part of why I jumped into Portal Knights, because it kind of had like a similar sort of art style, and the player characters actually look a little bit like Toon Link, a little bit with the big heads and like the stubby legs and stuff like that. But it's a really cute looking game, but it also looks really nice, and you know, it's optimized really well. It runs smooth. They originally developed it, and they ported it to console. So it just recently came out on the Switch, I believe, and yeah, it came out on the Switch recently. The Switch doesn't have everything that the Steam version has. Steam has like the most up-to-date stuff, which includes like a creative mode, lets you jump in, build whatever you want, all that kind of cool stuff. But yeah, I'll probably just dump some more time into this game. It might take the place of my game I play before bed, just kind of relaxing, because the music's nice. It's just kind of like a nice chill game. It's nice and casual friendly. So let's see, other than that,
yeah, I think they have it for the new Humble bundle for the early unlocks. Nice. Yeah, Portal Knights. Yeah, so maybe I'll play some of that with you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so if you're into builders and if you don't mind little toon style graphics, because I mean the game is really pretty looking. If you get in there, and it's a breeze to run too. So even if you have like a potato, I'm sure you can run this game. It's not like sophisticated or anything. It does have some post-processing kind of stuff like depth of field and some lighting effects, but it runs really well. I guess it's on the developer's like own engine that they develop themselves, which is nice. That's pretty cool. I like when developers do that, because it seems like usually the games end up running better. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. I'll probably jump back into Destiny 2 once I can once my heart heals from the loss of my warlock. Rest in peace.
Fuck, man.
I guess that warlock just wasn't your destiny.
Nope.
Too soon?
Lost in the void. Which is funny because I was actually running with the Void Walker, which I don't know. I just like.
I thought that was another pun. Was that unintentional?
Oh, I don't know. Was it good?
It wasn't bad.
No, it was definitely not intentional.
Oh, okay. Well, it worked.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I mean, I do like Destiny 2. I mean, that just like really, I feel like kind of burned though. Just the fact that like Bungie's just like, no circumstances. Sorry, guys, screw you.
Yeah, that's crap.
I want to say when my Diablo 3 character, like when I got hacked and all my stuff was gone, I wanted to say that they supplied me with something like gold or something. So
yeah, I mean, like a boost, like an EXP boost or something like that, or that'd
Yeah.
be nice, you know, just to.
I mean,
Whatever.
it's entirely their fault. Like the fact that they don't do
Yeah.
anything is garbage.
It sucks, and it's just
Yeah.
like it's like one of those like. It's also like something that they don't actually directly address either, and like the most like there's no way to like contact like any kind of support either, and it's like the most you have is like a forum. And it's just like PC support forum, and people just like posting
Yeah.
all the different problems they have, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. So then I took a screenshot of like the most recent screenshot I had of the character select screen with my warlock and stuff. Like this is how it looked before, this is how it looks now. He's gone. Like I didn't delete it. Like it just happened after the server maintenance, and I don't know. I'm not expecting anything to come of it. It's just it sucks, and I don't know. I feel like for that reason, I feel like you should be able to back up stuff like that, like character data, like locally, in case something like that happens, you know? So, I mean, even in like the worst case scenario, if I had like gone down like maybe 10 levels, or if I had like lost like maybe like a few of my most recent guns I acquired, that wouldn't be that bad as opposed to like losing everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Whatever, though.
I would just straight up
Life
quit
goes on.
and just like yell at Destiny for like a month, and then
I kind of want to wait for Rage 2 and just like see if it's good, and then if it's good, I'm just gonna hop into that. And that can be my like looty shooter or whatever. Because I mean, like I was really starting to get into Destiny 2 also. I was like, oh cool, okay, yeah, this is a neat loop, you know, whatever, cool. I get that grind, like chasing that light level or whatever. Now it's just like, what's the point? My light will just get snuffed out, just like that. Maybe it was a retroactive.
Darkness, my old friend.
Maybe it was a retroactive Thanos snapping thing. I don't know. He just snapped my warlock out of existence. Yeah, it sucks.
The Fortnite crossover is like evolving.
Oh man, if that happened to my Fortnite account, oh my gosh, I'd be so upset. I have so much cool stuff in that game.
Could you imagine, like, if the Thanos crossover on Fortnite ends and it takes half of the players base with it?
Oh, that would be.
It's like people just go in and their characters don't exist anymore.
That would be so bad.
wow,
Like the day
so
after
bad.
Thanos leaves the game.
that'd be a giant
So
fu.
terrible.
It'd be
Yeah.
kind of awesome, though.
Yeah.
They've already got a meteor that's about to hit, so, you know.
Yeah,
Didn't
that's true.
it already hit or no?
Actually, no. The meteor hit.
I don't
already,
know.
Yeah. It's the current
Yeah.
event right now. It's the blockbuster.
I don't pay
event.
attention. I was into that game for like a week when my computer was broken. Once it was fixed, I was like, I don't care about Fortnite anymore. I'll put my PS4 when I get God of War. That's about it.
Old business. Whatever though. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. Bungie, you've done me so wrong though. Come
Yeah.
on, guys. Oh well. Oh well.
I've been playing this little game. You sit in your bed and you just wait until you feel better.
Or for Death's Sweet Embrace. Whichever comes first. Just lay there. Life or death. It's your choice.
Yeah, most of this week I've just been laying out on my bed, just trying to feel better. I did play some Destiny stuff with my dad whenever he's on, so do our thing.
If only there were some systems you could play from your bed, like something portable. Maybe that still plays console games, but you know, from the comfort of your own bed.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna talk about this movie called Black Panther that I've just been watching over and over again. It's been like my
really?
sick
Over and over
movie for
again,
some reason. I don't know why. It's like it's on my Android TV. I tried getting like Deadpool 2 working on there, or Avengers Infinity War, but that's not working. So Black Panther, I've just been watching that over and over. I'm like, this is a good movie.
You like it? You like Black Panther? I like Black Panther.
It's a good movie.
I don't know if it's good enough to watch over and over again, though.
I've watched
Yeah, I
it
don't
3 or
know.
4 times now, like once a day, I guess. it's just a, I like Killmonger. He's a great villain. He's a great villain.
He is. It's true. But after they get back from Korea, the movie kind of nosedives a little bit for the rest of it.
Yeah.
I think Killmonger's
I fell asleep for a little bit last time we watched it, but I'm also an old man now and fall asleep when we watch movies at home.
You're married. You're a married old man now, so.
I know. I have to see things in theaters or else I'll fall asleep during them. It's the sad truth.
Oh.
Yeah.
You go from too young to being able to stay up to being too old to stay up.
I wake up at 6 a.m. on weekdays now, okay? Give me a break.
Well, hey, that's fair. That's fair. That's pretty darn early, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel ya. I was doing that for my first year, and then suddenly, like, our hours became flexible, so. Anyways, yeah, just laying in bed. And then State of Decay 2 came out, so I got my Xbox Game Pass up. And I've been playing that.
Grab that too.
I've been playing that for a while.
I've heard mixed things about it.
Yeah, it's really buggy and stuff. Like, there's times when doors look opened but they're closed, so you have to open them again or close them again. It's weird buggy stuff like that. But I don't know. I've been enjoying.
It was pretty buggy too, wasn't it?
Yeah, the first it's about as buggy as the first game.
Yeah.
But
now there's multiplayer.
Yeah. I don't have anyone on my friends list that has it, so I haven't been playing with anybody.
My brother is planning on getting it. I'm not sure he knows it's out. He's like, we need to play this together, but I haven't had money, and I don't think he knows that it's out yet.
Yeah.
So if we both get it, I'll let you know.
It's on PC, by the way, in case you're interested in the PC version.
Does it have the crossplay?
Not sure about crossplay. Maybe it does. I know it's play.
I think
anywhere.
everyone could play together.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I know it's play anywhere. Because I started downloading it on my PC now. So it's downloaded.
Would you say there's a fair amount of running and gunning type of action as there is like sneaking around and like stealthing and like melee type of stuff? Or
there's kind of like a little bit of everything. Like my first character, I've leveled him up enough to be more of a stealth guy, so he can sneak around and stab zombies from the back. But if you want to go run and gun stuff, you can do that too. It's pretty easy.
Cool.
Like there's infestations that you could do. So there's like a bunch of zombies sitting in a house. You can just run in there and shoot everybody.
Nice.
But if you enjoyed like that first game with the struggle of like trying to keep your community happy while maintaining resources and having like building up your core base, that's in there. I don't know what it is about this one that's keeping me sticking around, because the first one I played a few hours of it, but I never stuck around with it. But maybe it's because I'm trapped in my bed and I just have my console there. Yeah, I don't know. I've been really enjoying it. There's not each. I don't want to see each character has missions, but there's some characters have missions. Like there's this nurse or whatever, a doctor, and she like has this fantasy of like mowing down zombies, even though she's like kind of weak. So it's kind of fun to like go out there, and she's like has this like blood rage going on. It's kind of cute, kind of funny. I haven't been doing a lot of the questing stuff. Just because I'm trying to like maintain my building. Well, like screw you guys, you're on your own. And if you ignore enough people from like different factions and clans, they'll get angry at you. And they'll say the faction has left the area. And what I've heard later down the line is that sometimes they come back and they're still angry at you, and they try to kill you. So that might not be in the best interest for me right now. I might have to go help people. Yeah. I had one guy who
that is cool though. Like the people can attack you too. Yeah, it's not just zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was one. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it just seems a little more realistic that way. Just like got to worry about zombies and people too.
Yeah, and your resources. There was one guy in my faction. Like I helped him out after, like I was doing a mission, and like his leader got killed with me. I think that's just how the mission was gonna go, anyways. And so like there's an option to recruit him. So I recruited him, but he starts fights with everybody, and his health is really low. So I decided to just like take him out into the wilderness on his own and like get him killed, while like gaining my influence. Like that's your currency in the game. So I got him killed, and then everyone got depressed. And we're like, I'm upset. I might leave, but like, dude, he like beat you up and stuff. Like, why would you be upset about him dying?
He was trying to fight with everybody.
Yeah, he's like fighting everybody. I was like, oh well, that was a bad move, because then everyone, like, I thought I was gonna lose like that game, because it said like everyone was hopeless, and it was just a timer. Like each stats will have a timer if it's like something like that. If someone dies, or if there's a fight, and then they'll revert back to whatever they were before. So like I just had to wait 30 minutes and hope no one left, and I was lucky enough that no one left. But yeah, there's some stuff in there. It's like some people require certain buildings, but I've already built up my buildings to be certain levels, and I don't want to demolish them in order to gain their happiness. Like
It's like I spent a lot of money upgrading.
it's like
these
I spent money on building up my
garden.
garden and my medical facility and like my my like warehouses or whatever. I don't have a place for a watchtower. Like, I'm sorry, you'll have to just
Yeah, because it's not kind of like a mall or something, but like you only have certain things you can replace.
There's like 3 spots that you can like edit.
Yeah, I feel like they need more than that.
Yeah. I don't know how it works out later on in the game, but I just started getting outposts, and those don't really, like, I thought it might have been like a new facility and you can move people over, but that's not it. It's just like a new thing to add to your base. So I ended up adding a new outpost that only added 2 beds to my main base, and I was like, well, that sucks. So yeah, then I ended up getting the water plant, so now I could grow better vegetables. Yeah, like I'm really digging the whole, like, everything might come apart at any second, but also you're building up your base and you're getting more resources. Like, I like that kind of management system. Yeah, I'm enjoying that. I'm meaning to play more of it. Yeah, that's my big game that I've been playing.
Nice.
I can't really
Sounds
think of
interesting enough.
anything else other than that. Destiny 2, as always, but again, I didn't play a whole lot of that. Yeah. Did you guys want to talk about anything related to E3 stuff? Like, this is kind of like last minute because I've been sick for the last few weeks, so I haven't really been planning it. It's just like, oh yeah, E3's coming, guys.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that it was like in a week. That's crazy.
Crazy. That is nuts.
Yeah, like,
Because like everything's been leaking, so
Right.
I get that, like, either, you know, it's been like there's been information coming out, so they're trying to get ahead of it, or it's been like I think they just want to get some of this stuff out of the way, so like they can have the big announcements at E3 and not have to, like, you know, spend time on these little things. But they're all pretty big things still. I mean,
Right.
well, the biggest
It's
things like from Bethesda, like Rage 2 and like Fallout 76, and I think that's it. Really. I think they're still gonna have some bigger stuff there at their conference. Like, I think
Hopefully.
them and Square are both supposed to have like their biggest conferences ever.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Square's announced a few things lately too. Like they had a new Kingdom Hearts trailer recently.
Yeah.
And there's something else that Shadow of the Tomb Raider that they already announced and stuff like that. Like, so they're trying to push all this stuff out of the way already, so that it's not, you know, like taking up like announcement time during their conference. But then what are they going to announce? Like, when you push this much stuff out before the conference, that's got to be some other. You've got some other heavy hitters coming.
I
You
feel
know what I
like
mean?
Bethesda's gonna have Doom 2 at their conference.
Oh yeah, of
Doom
course.
2, huh?
Like, and I think it's
Nice.
gonna be called Doom 2, not just like something else.
Well, actually, like before Rage 2, I would have thought they had Doom 2 coming, but it's being made by id.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So are they also going to have Doom 2?
I would assume it's a different team. It's not the same team.
I mean, it's Avalanche,
yeah.
but like it's Avalanche and id together.
Yeah. It's not the.
I don't know.
It's not the.
I can see the not, but it's probably going to still be Doom 2. But I honestly think we could still get an Elder Scrolls announcement because this Fallout game is not like, obviously it's not Fallout 5. It's also not like Fallout 4's New Vegas because it's not a spinoff. It sounds like it's an online like survival game type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Rust, which
Yeah.
honestly I think works for Fallout, but
No,
we'll
definitely.
get more to that in the news. But I don't think that would cannibalize on like a new Elder Scrolls game, just to have this like offshoot of the Fallout universe that's probably a free to play, MMO type thing, like Elder Scrolls Online is. I think we'll also get the next Elder Scrolls game, even if it's just a cinematic trailer. But I think Bethesda's got to have something new, because I know Todd Howard had said like, we don't want to just be the guys that make Fallout, then Elder Scrolls, then Fallout, then Elder Scrolls.
Right, which explains Rage.
So I think there's going to be something new also.
Yeah, that's why I don't think they're gonna have a new anything new Elder Scrolls. Maybe they'll just talk about Somerset, which is their new expansion for the ESO. But I think a new Elder Scrolls, like, you're gonna be waiting for a while until ESO dies out.
Well, that's why I said cinematic trailer, like just like a now in development type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
we
got with
anything.
Metroid Prime 4 last year.
Yeah, exactly. If they do announce anything, it'll be like, it'll be basically just like, here we're shoveling the coal into the hype train. You know how Bethesda is.
Yeah, but I mean, also Bethesda's not really that kind of studio where they announce things years in advance. So I mean, we might not see it until it's like 8 months out. We don't know.
True. I guess we'll just have to see.
It's weird.
It is weird. I mean, I would love to see a new Elder Scrolls. I would love to see a new Elder Scrolls that's a little bit more like, kind of like, I'm not trying to say like I want them to like replicate like Morrowind or whatever, because that's archaic. I would like to see a blend between like Skyrim and Morrowind, just to have a little bit more depth into like the RPG mechanics and the systems and stuff.
I want to see more modern engine.
Yes.
Like, they're still releasing Skyrim, and that engine is not good. Fallout 4, really, that engine is not good.
Yeah.
I want them to like completely remake it, which is why it would probably take so long to make. But do something that feels more like you're playing a D&D game, for example. Like strong mechanics, but also like the world actually feels like you can do anything and like shape it.
Yeah.
Because that would be next gen Elder Scrolls. Like if we have a game that's going to be released for another 7 years, because Skyrim came out in 2011. Let's not forget that. It needs to be something that like, will stand the test of time for the next 7 years.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing more of Rage 2, though. I want to see what all is involved. Is it going to be like I don't know, like is it going to be like a Borderlands kind of thing? Because I was telling Thomas earlier, I saw like a tweet from their the Rage Game Twitter account. I was like, it kind of looks like Destiny a little bit. Just like it showed somebody like doing like some like jump type of thing using like some kind of like weird like magic abilities. I don't know. It looks interesting though. So I mean, and I'm currently taking applications for a new looty shooter. So
yeah, I think it's going to be like there's not going to be Borderlands 3 at E3. So I think this is basically going to be like the Borderlands 3 that we'll get this year, because it's probably coming out holiday this year.
But what's Gearbox working on? It has to be Borderlands 3.
No, they're working on it, but they already said that don't expect it at E3.
Oh yeah. Okay. And I don't know. Like I used to love Borderlands, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I need another one of those in my life again.
Yeah,
I already had
the first Rage was kind of cannibalized by Borderlands, so I think it's kind of funny now. Like Rage 2 is coming out, and it's basically Borderlands. When there's no Borderlands to compete with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just because I've been playing so much Destiny too. Like, if I have another looter shooter, it's probably just gonna be like another thing in my life. I don't know.
There's always Anthem.
Yeah.
We'll see some more of that.
Simulator.
I would rather see them do I'd rather see Gearbox go back to that World War II shooter they had, Brothers in Arms, because like that stuff was pretty cool.
Oh.
And like the story in that, like the third game in that one, or I think it's the second game, no, third. I can't remember. It's been so long, but they left it on a cliffhanger, so I was pretty pissed about that. But I don't expect to ever see another Brothers in Arms.
Haven't we gotten enough World War II shooters lately?
Yes.
Like you had what, Call of Duty World War II?
And Battlefield, wasn't that? No,
Yeah,
that was World War
that's-
One, I guess.
Yeah, that's World War One.
Yeah.
There was something else.
Yeah, but this one actually like told a neat story, like an actual good story.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a multiplayer shooter.
Whatever.
Yeah. So you talked about Square. You want to talk about anything more with Square?
I hope we'll finally see like actual footage of the Avengers game.
Yeah, really.
Oh, yeah.
They're supposed to be
That was a
working
thing,
on
huh?
that. I keep forgetting.
Yeah. Right?
It was totally.
I constantly forget the games that Square is actually working on because we never hear about them.
Well, I mean, now would be the great time to announce something like that with the
Right.
Infinity War. It came out and all that stuff, you know. Like,
I predicted they were going to like launch it with Infinity War, but now I mean they could still try and push it out with Avengers 4 next year.
yeah, that's true.
Capitalize on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that game was announced like 2 years ago and we haven't seen anything from it since.
Yeah.
I want to know what it is. What is it?
Probably get some Final Fantasy 15 stuff because they're still working that.
Oh yeah, there's another thing of DLC coming for that game.
Yeah,
Really?
there you go. Like, I didn't even know that was coming. I was just like, yeah, they're probably just doing more of that. Kingdom
We talked about it
Hearts.
on the show.
Did we? I don't remember.
Yeah.
With the recipe, I've
There's
come
like
up with-
Arden, like episode Arden, episode
Oh,
Aranea.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's totally right.
Yeah, there's like 4 of them, I think. After the Royal Edition was already announced.
And then they're gonna have the Super Royal Edition, where you go Super Saiyan.
Probably.
Then they're gonna have the Royal Rumble edition.
Oh shit! Oh shit! That was so
I would
good.
be all over that. You would be all over that.
A Final Fantasy wrestling game?
Oh my god!
I mean,
are
it's
you
kind of
kidding?
like Dissidia, but
Yeah, the city is more anime though.
true. But wrestling's kind of anime.
Wrestling is live action
Yeah,
anime.
Has a point there.
That's what I tell
Yeah.
everybody. That's what
Final
I tell
Fantasy looks
everyone.
good enough to be live action these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would totally play a wrestling game that's Final Fantasy based. I could probably just download like created wrestlers and just throw
Yeah,
out
you
my
could.
fantasies.
I guarantee there's at least 69 Tifa
60.
mods.
Nice.
Yeah, I picked that number because of her.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's so much stuff that's already been announced from a lot of these studios. How much more can they be working on? So I don't want to talk about it too much.
Yeah, true. Yeah, there's just a lot that we don't even know about Nintendo stuff coming. Like, there's probably more stuff coming from them.
Yeah, there's been some leaks about like some of their third-party stuff, but I don't like to get into too much of that stuff because some people don't want to be spoiled. I just kind of accidentally run into it because it's pictures, and Twitter is mean.
I haven't seen any of that stuff yet, so
Well, we'll talk about it later.
I'm pretty good when it comes to avoiding spoilers.
Yeah.
Like as far as E3 goes, I really like want to have like an oh shit moment. Like oh
Yeah,
holy
me
crap,
too.
Like, I can't believe this is coming out. I just don't like know what that would be for me, you know. So it would, I don't know. It would have to. I mean, I guess the fact that it's something like I'm not necessarily. I don't know what to expect. Like kind of like helps to set that up for me a little bit. But at the same time, like what if it's just like, just kind of like a meh sort of thing. I don't even know like. I'm not even sure like who I would be even like hoping to see something from. Like at this point, I just want to see more Rage 2. More Bantam for sure.
Oh yeah.
What would be like your surprise hype moment? Like each of you.
Metroid Prime 4 footage. I'd be waiting
this,
for
like,
that.
Are we
Yeah,
like,
that'd be
talking like
awesome.
total like headcanon like hopes and dreams like
Well, yeah, I'm talking like something that like we don't know about that would be like the surprise announcement that would make E3 for you.
I was just trying to keep it realistic.
Because Metroid Prime 4 is awesome, but that's a known quantity. Like, I don't know if we'll see anything from it, but we know it's in development.
Yeah. Like I said, I was trying to keep it realistic.
Yeah.
Like,
just like unannounced games, like being announced pretty much. Like something that we don't know about that just gets announced on a stage somewhere.
Well, yeah, that's literally my question. What of those would you want?
Exactly.
Like, I know I've said this like multiple times, but I want Microsoft to revive Scalebound. Do it.
Yeah.
Please do it. You would make so many people happy. I would be one of those people.
Even call it something else, but like have it be like the skeleton of what Scalebound was.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a new game, but like, you know, everyone knows it's Scalebound.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Like that was like, I don't know. I just remember being so excited for that. Just like the idea and the concept that they had developed. And I don't know, like, yeah, that's really like, I can't really think of anything else other than maybe a new Halo game. I don't know. Like,
That's
true. Everyone's kind of forgotten about Halo, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone knows Halo's going to be announced at this one.
Yeah, probably.
And it's coming to
Microsoft
PC.
to just, like,
How about a Master Chief edition coming to PC near you?
That'd be fine. I'd be cool with that.
I know Lowe's been wanting that
I'd be
for a
way
while.
happy with that. Yeah. In fact, it's funny that you say that because that's part of the reason why I jumped back into Destiny again. I was like, man, I really wish I could play some Halo. And I was like, no, well, Destiny's kind of like it, not really, but whatever, close enough. Then I jumped back and I was like, oh no, yeah, I like this game, cool. And then I lost my character.
The problem with like a Master Chief collection on PC is we would constantly play Halo together.
Well, I don't see the problem.
Like we get nothing done.
I don't see the problem.
It's true. It's true.
I'm just saying.
6, 7 hours. Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Thomas, do you have a real one?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Like something you'd love but don't expect?
Love but don't expect. I don't know. Do I love anything? What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
Like I said, Doom
No
2.
more.
Like just Doom 2. I just want to see Doom 2. I want to see like
Doom 2, huh?
I just want to see Doom guy back in hell ripping demons in half. Some more
All right.
new for Doom.
I mean, I don't think that would be super surprising, but mine would probably be like just because I don't think they'd happen yet. My big ones would be surprise, either a new like a Breath of the Wild sequel / like new like top down 3D Zelda, like on Switch. So basically porting like the Link Between Worlds engine over to like a top down Switch game, or a 2.5D like original Metroid game that will be releasing alongside Metroid Prime 4. Like how we got Prime and Fusion on the same day. Those would be my two big hype moments from Nintendo specifically that I just don't think we're going to get. I've already said I think we're going to get like footage of Prime 4 and then like an announcement that the Prime trilogy is being ported to Switch for like this holiday season or something. And then Prime 4 is coming like next holiday season, something like that. So, you know, it gives people time to play the three. And I wouldn't be surprised if we got like some kind of other, like I've heard rumors of like a Link's Awakening 3D port for 3DS, because pretty much the whole life of the 3DS now is like ports of older games, like with the Mario and Luigi and the WarioWare and things like that. But honestly, I would love a Link's Awakening 3D. Like that sounds really fun to me.
That'd be cool.
So I'm fine with that. But I would like to see a new game in one of those series, like on Switch, but like in the style of the older games. I don't necessarily want a Breath of the Wild 2 already. There's a lot of people still playing that game.
Right.
So yeah, I've also heard about like the Star Fox racing type thing and stuff like that, but I don't think those would be terribly surprising. I would be mostly surprised by Zelda or Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the year where they would get by on a lot of their lesser series. Like, we already know Yoshi's coming this holiday. That kind of thing. I don't think any of that would be surprising right now.
I think something surprising would be Yoko Taro coming back and be like, he's making another game, which would be insane.
Who's that?
Huh?
Who dat?
The guy who did Nier Automata from last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like if he because like right now he's rested and stuff, and people are just saying like, just let him be at peace. He doesn't have to make another game like again. So
Yeah.
That'd be the only surprising thing. I'm looking forward to seeing more of that weird alien baby thing from Kojima.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Death Stranding's still happening.
It's still happening. I don't know how, but it is.
Yeah.
What's
I guess my other surprise would be if the new Smash for Switch is not like based on Smash 4. I think that would be really surprising since it is coming this year.
New Smash.
That'd be cool.
Right. But I still don't think it is. But it would be surprising if it was.
What's gonna be our meme for this year? Like, what's the next Kojima meme?
Oh, that's probably sort of terrible on the mic. I'm sorry.
Is Throat Baby not a good enough meme?
I mean, that was
Thumbs up,
last
Throat
year's.
Baby?
It's already over, man. His life cycle. He's already dead.
Yeah.
That baby's no. It's already dead.
Hey, you don't know, man. The gestation period for a Throat Baby could be like way longer than 9 months.
It's true.
There's a lot we don't know here. We're in unknown territory. This is.
I feel like they get a lot more nutrients that way, though. It's a more direct resource for nutrients.
Exactly. Yeah.
Than stored in the womb.
It's like
Just more
baby
efficient.
penguins.
Yeah, it's probably like a way quicker gestation period.
Yeah.
Because they're just like eating your burger right after you eat it. Like, oh, thanks, I will. Actually, yeah,
You
I'll
don't
take
get
that
any
from
of
you.
that nutrient, though. You would die with the baby inside, and it would just crawl out of you.
Probably.
Oh, this is so
Yeah.
gross.
It'd be like in South Park where like they were like eating through their butts and like pooping out of their mouths.
Why would
But
you
it's
ever
like-
want to?
But it's like you're just like pooping babies out of your mouth.
Why would you ever want to shit out your mouth? You would taste the shit.
Yeah.
I don't.
No,
I don't remember. I literally don't remember the
context.
context of that episode. I just remember people like shoving sub sandwiches in their butts and vomiting into buckets.
It was because Cartman was like, "Oh, you can eat. You can do it the other way," and then like it just became a fad, and people started doing it. And,
Yeah. Okay. That sounds right. That sounds like something Cartman would start.
yeah.
I forgot what the original question. Oh, the meme. I think it'll be from something we're not expecting, like a
Yeah.
trailer of something that hasn't been even revealed.
Or an epic rant from some random developer,
From some celebrity.
some random indie developer,
Or a broken, like, live, quote-unquote, gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
Or a car. Another Xbox car.
Yeah. I can see a car happening.
TV car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have any games to announce, probably, so why not just bring out more cars?
Yeah.
Xbox is so dead in a few years.
Oh, Phil Spencer, what will you do now?
Yeah, I feel like this generation, like they've already given up on this generation. I think in the next couple of years
Seems like it.
they're gonna launch the next one. They talked about the PS5 being in development and coming out in like 3 or 4 years from now.
Well, they said they're in the final stages of the PS4's life. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean that they're preparing for PS5.
Well, they talked about.
I mean, there always are. R&D is always working.
yeah,
But
console sales are down for the PS4. I wouldn't.
they had their
surprise me.
best quarter ever last holiday season.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere that said sales were down. For
Maybe
year
right now.
like year over year.
Nope. Their best quarter of the entire PS4 life cycle was this past.
Yeah, that's their best quarter,
holiday season.
but it's not their best year.
All right.
All right.
I'm just saying sales numbers can be interpreted in multiple ways, and they're not doing poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, of course not. But I'm just saying it's down year over year.
But no, I fully believe that like the next generation, Microsoft will be third party.
Think
I
so?
don't think so.
It's third party only?
I think they've been.
Well, like,
working
they'll put exclusives on PC, but they'll be third party for Like they won't have a console.
They've been working on so hard on everything else, like back compatibility, like the services that they're offering. It's like
But they're also offering everything day and date on PC now.
Yeah,
that's true.
And some people don't want to buy a gaming PC. Some people just want a console.
I mean, the One X is how long? I mean, how many more? How long do you think the One X is gonna? How long do you think the One X is gonna have a run? How long do you think?
Right.
I've heard that the One X has been doing well for them, but I don't have any concrete numbers. Like they don't. Like
I mean, I could see them putting out like a budget console that's basically just like a stripped PC that can run the games for like $200 next gen,
and it just runs the Xbox OS or whatever.
Right, like it's the Xbox 2 or whatever, but it's really just like a budget PC and an Xbox shell.
Or it could be some weird version of Windows 10 or something. I don't know.
True, but like they promote, you know, the PC, the fact that all their Microsoft games are on PC, and there's this box you can get, like a kind of a Steam box, but for Xbox games if you don't have a PC. But I don't see them being like a major competitor.
Yeah,
it's going to be a Nintendo PlayStation race.
It would make sense for Microsoft to do something like that. I feel like, especially at this point with the crossplay that they're going to be incorporating now. Just like release kind of like a game box type of thing. That's, I mean, they would. I don't know. I don't even know what they would call it. They could probably still call it an Xbox or Xbox blankety blank or I don't know. But
they don't need to put all the resources into some major hardware when it doesn't really. It's not hasn't been that successful.
Right. Exactly.
Sure, they don't, but
it'll be interesting.
They will, because that's what they do.
They probably will, because they make bad decisions, and Windows 10 is stupid. But...
the Xbox One Y.
Like you can't get your Windows 10 working. Why would they make it the only place to get games?
Freaking Windows 10, the Windows Store.
One of them has said that in a meeting, and they're like, "Yeah, you're right." And then they fire all their customer service team.
Oh yeah.
Oh goodness.
All right.
Oh, Microsoft.
I think that's
we should probably end this show.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably a wrap for this show. Justin, you want to talk about your stuff? No.
I am on YouTube and Twitter mostly as Zero Score. Marvel month is officially over because it is June 1st as of recording this. So check that stuff out if you were interested. But if you were, you probably would have already checked it out. So, you know, it's your life. You live it. And Final Fantasy IX is continuing. We are almost done with Disc 2. And I will be taking a break between 2 and 3 because I haven't even started on it yet. This stuff is a lot of work, and I haven't had the motivation. It's hot, and I have to record voiceover with the AC off. I don't want to. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Low.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Near the Hero, N3R0 THEH3R0. You can also find me on YouTube, Near the Hero with letters, and you can find me here every week with the Charge Shot Boys.
And you can find me, your host Thomas, on Twitter, CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also email me, thomas@chargeshot.com. You can also visit our website, chargeshot.com, for all of our videos, podcasts, and written content.
Check out my Funk Unplugged review.
Yes, check out the Funk Unplugged review.
I picked that up, by the way. I picked that up.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Yeah, until then, guys, enjoy your games.
Bye everyone.
Enjoy your games.
You
sound so sick.
I'm trying.
He's losing steam.
I know.
Get that Manazinzu bean. Stat.
Right? Give me one of them.
I wish those were
What?
Yeah, why? Like, Ben bought 10 fucking 40s. He's a fucking beast.
He doesn't go often, but he goes hard every time.
Did he actually do that? Do you?
I believe it.
Guarantee.
Yeah. All right. Let me pull up this news here real quick. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Video Game News and News Show, hosted by your hosts Thomas and Justin.
Hi.
And Lo.
Why are we here? Just to suffer?
Because Mega Man.
Yeah.
I'm excited for all the games that were announced this week. So many pre-E3 games.
Speaking of Mega Man 11
Pre-E3.
was announced with a pre-order trailer.
Well, I mean, it's already announced.
Yeah, but
The release date was announced.
Yes, we got to see some footage.
Man, does that game look good.
It does. First looks at 2 of the Robot Masters, like proper explanations of the gameplay mechanics.
The gear system looks rad.
Yeah.
All right, there's the Mega Man news story. I don't know. It's so far apart.
The new Amiibo, which, I mean, is just also Mega Man, like the last Amiibo was, but still, I want it.
You got an Amiibo problem.
I don't get them very often. Like, I did for a while, but a lot of the new ones haven't interested me.
To be fair, this one does look badass.
Yeah. Like, the first, all of the Super Smash Bros. Series Amiibos were just kind of okay. Like, it was their attempt at, starting the Amiibo process and figuring out how toys work. But none of them look great. And so, now they've actually been putting out new poses and, testing the waters for, better designs and stuff. This is an actual cool posed Mega Man. Whereas the other one is just kind of he's standing there and his color is a little off.
Out of this pre-order bundle, you get the Amiibo edition. You get 4 colorful stickers. And I'm just looking at the Dr. Wily one, and I'm like, I want to put that on my work laptop.
Nice.
Dr. Wily.
Dr. Wily is taking the evil energy.
Yeah, so it's being released this fall, October 2nd. Sorry, what?
There's a microfiber cloth that comes with it. It's like a stage select one that shows all of their Robot Masters. It has their names blurred out, but it shows them all. I hadn't noticed that.
Huh.
Because we know Blockman, which I like that people were just thinking said Black Man.
Oh.
But there's Blockman and Fuse Man. We know those 2, and then the others are just their pictures on the stage select screen.
The one on the bottom is just like a lighter, isn't it? Is that Heat Man?
That's probably the fire guy, but yeah, I don't know.
There's already a Heat Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that Heat Man? And then the top one kind of looks like a leaf or something. I don't know.
Kind of. I like the one on the far right, with the big eyes.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
I feel like he's a ball or something.
Probably.
Oh, here. They actually do kind of have them on the cover a little bit. You can see them a little better. One kind of looks like Gemini Man, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, that one is definitely the fire guy.
Yeah.
And then the pink thing might be a woman, actually. They've had a few Mega Womans or Woman Boss Masters, whatever. But it kind of looks like a Bomberman because it has a little ball on the top, like a poof ball.
Got the same eyes too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Interesting.
Maybe it's
There's some cool designs here.
Like a bomb lady. Didn't they have women in previous Mega Man games?
Yeah, Mega Man 9 had Splash Woman.
Yeah.
Ah.
That was the first one.
So maybe that'll be
I'm so glad Mega Man's back, you guys.
Yeah.
I know.
And he has good voice acting this time.
Yeah, that was a surprise. Voice acting at all was a surprise, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was super into it.
Yeah, I personally love the art style of this. I know a lot of people are saying oh no, Mighty Number 9 is back. But it's not really. It's just it's like a polished 3D cartoony art style. This is what Mega Man in 3D would look like. You know what I mean? If you just take that old style and, add another dimension to it, this is what it looks like.
Yeah, it took me it didn't take me very long to get used to it, but it did take me a little bit. But I'm really digging it.
Yeah. But I like the main thing about this is that it adds new abilities for Mega Man without making it feel like Mega Man X or Mega Man Zero or those others that kind of play similarly but have their own unique mechanics to them that make the series their own. This has a a time slowing mechanic, and like basically a beefed up kind of charge shot type thing.
Nice.
TM. But but like it actually powers up any ability you use, which they've kind of done in the past.
Yeah.
I want to say it was a Mega Man X thing actually,
X
where you could like charge up your TM. Charge up your special abilities as well as your charge shot.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why we like Mega Man so much, because it just like gives us free advertising. But like this feels a little different.
yeah.
And I really like the slowdown ability. That's like that's a game changer in some of the platforming
Especially
sections.
in a game like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But it just feels faster. Like it always kind of bothered me. That's why I liked Mega Man X more, was because like it moves faster. You've got a little bit more mobility. Like this feels like a faster paced, like original Mega Man game, without like stealing the Mega Man X mechanics, and that's really interesting to me. And like the level designs are really cool. Like the way you have to use some of these abilities in the levels to get past some stuff. The bosses seem really unique. Like the way Blockman like becomes a big guy for a little while,
Oh, yeah,
and you have to like switch up your tactic to beat him. Like they're really trying here, and I like that.
Super cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. And it's only going to be what, $30?
I think so.
It's
not bad.
It's pretty good.
Mega Man should never really be full price. Let's be honest.
Sorry, what?
Mega Man should never really be full price. Let's be honest.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, you could get away with it just because the selection wasn't great. And
Yeah, that's what games were.
So short. Yeah. Nowadays, it's like a small, like downloadable game that you can play. Yeah.
I mean, Sonic Mania was $30. This should be too.
Right.
Yeah.
It's comparable.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is going to be like a day one Switch purchase. It feels at home on the Switch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of Capcom,
You guys handled the transitions this week. I don't have the brains for it.
Wait, actually, I don't know what you're talking about. What other Capcom stuff is there?
well, since Thomas is actually here, we can talk about Cody being announced.
Oh yeah, that's Capcom.
Yeah, that is Capcom. That's actually the first thing I like. That was the next news story I had, and I was just like, I don't know. Yeah. Speaking of Capcom, we have a new character announced for Street Fighter V, Cody. And I kind of just wanted to talk about Cody because in the announcement trailer, I actually want to talk about Kenny Omega because for those of you that don't know, Kenny Omega is a big wrestling. He's a big wrestling name, and he's a huge fan of Street Fighter, and so it was kind of cool that they got him to do the live action part of the announcement trailer. They even did it like shot for shot for like when you play. Since I ever learned this name for it, I just want to call it Street Fighter 89 because
Final Fight.
Yeah, Final Fight. Yeah. But like in Final Fight, you see the beginning when Mike Hagar turns on the TV and stuff, and he gets the call. Like they did shot for shot. It was pretty amazing.
That was awesome.
Yeah, like enjoy Cody. He's got 2 V-triggers, sidearm. Cody has he's wielding his trademark knife, throw it mid combo. Like I'm not really big into the technical stuff. If Ben was here, he'd give us a full rundown.
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
His other
Look
V-trigger.
at his sexy costumes, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that he's not like a prisoner anymore. He's not a jailbird.
Yeah.
There is a costume for that.
Oh yeah.
But like he's wearing like a white tux with a rose in it, and his hair slicked back, and like they're shirtless with the one strap over it.
That's the Mike Hagar look, man.
And then like the vest,
now, apparently.
That's his father-in-law.
with like the fixing up the tie, like.
Looks slick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cody. I like Cody. He's cool.
The gameplay of him was pretty slick too. I like seeing like showcases for like character combos and stuff. It's like, oh, look at all this cool stuff I'll never get to see if I were to try to do it myself.
Is it just these pictures, or is Street Fighter V not a very good-looking game?
No, it looks like garbage.
I thought that was the case.
Isn't it Unreal Engine? This one?
I have no idea. I just know that every time I try to play it, I'm just like, this looks like pants.
It's a fighting game. It doesn't have to look good, but like this art style is just like so chunky.
It's weird. Yeah. What about 4? Did you like 4's art style?
I never really.
Is that to me?
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
I never really played 4.
You didn't play 4? Okay.
No.
Also, what is G? It's one of the other season 3 characters, and it's just like a friggin' leprechaun, like buff boy.
G. That's weird.
G.
Yeah. There's Cody, there's Sakura, there's Blanca, there's Falky, there's Sagat, and then G, which is literally just a buff leprechaun. And I kind of love him.
Maybe
Hold
the
on, let me
G
see
is
if
for
there's more. Street Fighter 5 G leprechaun.
Oh no.
I spelled that wrong. Okay, he's a leprechaun with a top hat specifically, which is even better. He's like if Abe Lincoln was a leprechaun.
Interesting.
Why are we talking about Cody when G exists?
Another thing about Cody is that Kenny Omega is in a feud with Cody, not this Cody, but another wrestler named Cody. So there's like multiple layers to him cosplaying as Cody. I don't know.
Is that Cody Rhodes? Do I know that name?
Yeah, you actually know that name.
I know that name from Arrow.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He's been in a few episodes of Arrow.
Yeah, he's gonna be. Arrow's gonna be in his show, All In. Steven, what's his face? I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
Next news story. If you guys want to help me.
That was weak. I don't know what the story is. We can't transition when we don't know what the story is.
You guys pick stories all the time.
Oh,
like,
we're picking. Okay.
Like out of my I have an order that I want to go in, and you guys always pick something that's like out of order, and I get messed up.
Yeah, shut up. I'm looking. I got nothing. Speaking of, actually, yeah, no. Speaking of Capcom, like while we're still on Capcom,
Yeah.
Okay.
Killer 7 remaster.
Oh yeah.
That is published by Capcom. It works.
Yeah, published by Capcom, I guess, and being remastered by NISA. It's coming to Steam. Originally developed by Grasshopper Games, or manufacturer. Yeah, it's coming. It doesn't say when. There's no date here on their tweet. Let's see. What does the Steam page say? So this says fall 2018. But yeah, Killer 7's coming back. You guys ever play Killer 7? No.
Briefly.
Briefly. Yeah, I bought that game and I never finished it. I never got past the first level. But it was so
I didn't like the style.
Yeah, the style like is so it's very polygonal. Very old school, like
low poly.
Yeah, low poly. I kind of liked what they were going for, but I just never got a taste for this game until much later on in my life when I first bought it. So I'm looking forward to revisiting it.
I also don't really like Suda 51. Like, I respect them as a studio. That's just not my, I don't know, my type of game that they make.
I put them side by side, like Swery and Grasshopper, like Suda 51. Kind of like similar, like unique, like kind of just abstract, out there.
Yeah, I get that. Because I like No More Heroes, but like I don't play those games. I enjoy like what they're doing.
Yeah.
But that's really the only thing Suda 51's done that I've like actually cared about.
I'm looking forward to playing Killer 7 on Steam. This is the first game I got carded to try and buy a game because it was rated like 17 plus, and I was like, oh yeah, look at my ID. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna go into this Atari news story. So remember
What?
Atari?
There's another Atari news story?
Yep, this is like kind of last minute news. Was that the Atari VCS retro console pre-orders went up on Indiegogo, and it's already surpassed $2 million in one day. So
What?
look forward to the
Why?
VCS console coming to you soon.
People probably just want to hack that because it's cheap and basically a Steam box.
Huh.
That's got to be it.
That's weird.
I
did not expect that. I would never would have expected anything. I never would have expected
It
that.
really
Stop supporting Atari.
It really saddens my heart that people are giving their money to Atari for this, and then like swear he could barely make his cat game.
Yeah. What if every pre-order you got the speaker hat? That might be why. That is crazy. Like,
Man. Speaker hat's a charge shot classic.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I just need to keep we need to remind people that thing exists.
I know.
Yeah, we can't. You can't forget. We have to let every single timeline know that this.
Go
is
into
a
the
thing.
thumbnail. You talked about it. It's suitable.
Excellent. I love this. Oh boy,
That's weird. I don't like that news at all. Let's move on.
Ow.
it's weird. It's weird. I'm confused.
Here, hold on. Let me figure it out. Speaking of news I don't like, this works. Xbox kills their support staff.
Yeah. What's up
Not
with
quite
that,
literally,
guys?
but almost literally.
Killed their careers.
Microsoft has reportedly laid off paid support staff in favor of unpaid volunteers that they trained. Polygon reports that 12 Xbox support staff lost their jobs after unwittingly training the replacements. Man,
Savage.
that's rough, man.
Unpaid volunteers
Savage.
in the Xbox Ambassadors program.
Volunteers in the Xbox
Savage.
Ambassador Support.
Garbage.
Support staff were hired by a firm of consulting, but worked out of Microsoft offices. According to Polygon sources, a small team has been kept on to manage the ambassadors. Xbox Ambassador program was set up in 2013. Awards members of the community various prizes and volunteering their time to assist customer support. We continue to have a number of highly trained customer support agents plus community ambassadors available to help customers with their needs, Microsoft said in a statement to Polygon.
I mean, technically 0 is a number.
Yeah, that's rough, man. Like training the people to take over your job while they don't even get paid.
Yeah. You're being paid to train your unpaid replacements.
Man, that's
And then you're
rough.
gonna
What a
laid off.
severance package.
Savage, dude. Oh my gosh. Like that. Man.
Microsoft is
Yeah,
kind of
like-
garbage. Let's be honest.
A little bit. Yeah.
Like they do some good stuff, but even like when we reported on that accessibility controller, like that was a good thing that they were charging way too much money for.
Right.
Like they're always garbage.
I mean, like, it'd be one thing if they laid off like their like the absolute like worst like customer service people, but then why would you have them training people though? If that was the case, man, like I don't even know. Like
Speaking of
I
one
don't know the
garbage
logic behind this.
company to the next, PUBG Corp has filed a lawsuit against Epic Games.
Nice.
Well done.
Good alley. That's a good alley oop right there. Justin set it up. Thomas slammed it.
All right.
Just like PUBG did for Fortnite.
Yeah, really.
Just a little bit, yeah.
PUBG Corp has filed a lawsuit against Epic Games for copyright violations, according to Korea Times. Korean-based PUBG Corp filed the injunction against Epic Games Korea in January, alleging copyright infringement. The Seoul Central District Court will decide whether Fortnite copied PUBG, though no further details concerning the claims have been revealed. Be an ongoing relationship with Epic Games throughout PUBG's development as they are creators of the UB4 engine. I just want to see the parts that they're suing about because I think it's about the UI.
No, it's down here at the bottom. It basically says that they're not necessarily suing them because of like any kind of like, you know, you stole our game mode or anything. They said, we just want to emphasize this is only a problem because Epic Games is the company that makes the engine we use, and we pay a large amount of royalties to them. And we had this business relationship, and we had trust that we would be getting continued support, and we're looking forward to working more closely with them to get technical support, maybe develop new features. But our name was used to officially promote their game without our knowledge. There was no discussion. It was just a bit surprising and disappointing to see our business partner using our name officially to promote the game mode that is pretty similar to us, and there was misunderstanding in the community that we were officially involved in their project.
They did that once, I'm pretty sure. If I remember correctly. I only remember them doing that one time. And it was like, we're really big fans of PUBG, so we made this mode, or this game mode that has been made before, you know?
Right.
On the engine that PUBG is using. Come on. This is ridiculous.
But like, I guess there's been a report that like the player base for PUBG has dropped by like half in recent months.
Wow.
As Fortnite's gotten more popular. So I think they're just honestly desperate.
Seems like it.
But I mean, I get it. Like they pay a lot of money to Epic to use that engine, and then Epic just makes like a clone of it using their engine also, and it gets way more popular. Like that sucks, but that's the industry. You know, you can't copyright a game genre so that no one else can make it. And also, like, you're using their engine, so they see that it's possible to do in their engine, and they're a game development studio too. I mean,
are those handmade assets in PUBG too, or did they come from an asset store or something? Like,
the original mode in Hizzy were like just assets pulled from the engine, but I think the PUBG ones are custom.
Oh, are they? Okay, all right. Well, that's good. Still, I mean, like, this is, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. They're kind of grasping at straws here at this point. I feel like I don't know, like, I feel like there could have been better things to do other than this. They could have made PUBG free to play. That could have helped. I don't know.
It's still too janky.
It is pretty janky, yeah.
That's the problem. It's just Fortnite is a better made game.
It works.
Like there are elements of PUBG that are better. Like it's a more hardcore experience and stuff like that. But like as we will talk about later, Fortnite just has like a better like hook to it, you know? It's more bright, it's more colorful, it's more accessible. Like it knows how to have fun.
Right.
It's just it meets the casual audience in a way that PUBG just can't. And so like the only reason it was popular is because it was the only thing of its kind and people were hooked to it. But like there was a barrier to entry for it. Right. You know, with Fortnite, it's free across all devices and you can play with anyone on any device. So like the 12-year-olds that are using their parents' iPhones can, you know, hop on Fortnite and play with their friends at home on their computers at school.
Yep.
And like there's no real draw to that like that any other game has.
Mm-hmm.
And it's free to play, so people are spending money on it, but like they're not required to. So it's getting more publicity out there than PUBG can, because it's like, oh man, I've been playing this great battle royale game, or you know, battlegrounds game, and like, oh, that sounds really cool. How much is it? $30. Oh, right. Well, I'm just gonna play Fortnite then. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, they're going to fail. Like, at this point, they're going to fail. And it's just a matter of, like, can they hold on to the player base they have by differentiating enough from Fortnite? Because that's what you have to do. Even if you're the original, you have to just find a way to make yourself unique enough to keep your audience. Exactly. Look at all the survival games out there, the online survival games, like Rust and Ark and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, all of them exist side by side, even though they're basically the same game and the same engine, just by, you know, having enough difference that different people play them, or the same people play both of them, whatever. You just gotta adapt. You can't just sue everyone that makes something that's like you.
Yeah.
Just because they do it better. Grow up.
Do you guys think it's part? Do you guys? I feel like Fortnite is more. It's more attractive, largely in part of the art style, and it kind of got
Oh
me
yeah.
thinking about just in general that kind of like cartoony sort of art style is kind of. I feel like it's sort of making like a. I don't want to say like a comeback, but it's being. I feel like it's more common. Like you have games like Overwatch, you have Paladins, you have stuff like that. I feel like I don't know. It's like like me earlier this week, I was playing Rage, and then I was like, I've had enough dark and gritty. It's time for something like bright and cartoony and happy, whatever. So then I switched over to Portal Knights. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the that sort of like more cartoony style. First of all, it's easier for developers to develop it because it's it's not like you're going for all these like super realistic textures and stuff like that. It's just fairly simplistic textures, some good animations, and some post processing to enhance things. And I don't know. I feel like I don't know. It's I might be wrong. But whatever. But I don't know. I feel like that kind of art style is it's definitely trending right now more than like the dark, gritty kind of realistic stuff. I don't know.
I feel like the popularity of Unity and Unreal have created that, because a lot of the default assets and stuff in there, and like the way that the engine works, just like is encourages that style of graphics. And so people that are just making things out of the assets in there already, like you have to go out of your way to make something like PUBG in there, that looks realistic and stuff like that. So I don't mind it, honestly. Like I love that kind of like collectathon mascot platformer uses that style. So the fact that Fortnite uses it just makes it more accessible to me.
Yep.
Like I'm still afraid to play PUBG because it feels so tense and like I just get like heart palpitations. With Fortnite, I'm just like, hey, I don't care if I die. This is stupid.
Right.
I wanted to talk about more of the actual lawsuit itself.
Yeah.
I know there's no like info in the article itself, and I couldn't find anything using Bing, but I could have sworn it was being sued over like UI stuff and like the map and like stuff like that.
Actually, now that you mention, I think I do remember those comparisons being made. I'm not sure if it was by PUBG Corp or whatever themselves or somebody else, but there was definitely someone out there who made that comparison.
But I don't think like this is obviously not going to hold up. I doubt it's going to hold up ever in court, because there's been more egregious stuff that have happened in games in the past than this. Like all the Street Fighter 2 clones that came out after that game got popular, and like Data East suing them for like making a fighting game, because when like Data East made like the first quote unquote fighting game with Karate Champ, and then like all the Pac-Man stuff like that's been sued over. Like there's been more egregious stuff that have been shown in court of law with like screenshots next to each other shown to court. I doubt that PUBG's going to get anything out of this.
It's almost like it kind of reminds me of when people were making those, well, they still do, but they were making those heavy comparisons to Overwatch and Paladins. Like it was just that. Just people were just like, oh, well, they copied them, or no, they copied them. It was really just that. No one like took the next step, or no one like, well, we're going to sue them because like this is our game mode that we came up with. It's the same thing. It's like hero shooter, that genre has been around since TF2, so it's like I don't know, this makes me sad. News like this makes me sad.
I know it's like completely different division of PUBG, like it's law division, it's not their development, but they should just focus on maintaining their people that they have, honestly.
Exactly.
Like keeping them happy.
Exactly.
They have a larger portion of of their players still. They still have a lot of people playing the game.
Optimize your game, make it run better.
Yeah.
On a wider range of builds.
Runs fine for me. I don't know.
Okay, Yogi the Bear. I didn't know you played PUBG.
Hey, boo boo, we're gonna sneak over here and cap this guy in the head. I don't know, Yogi. We're running out of ammo. Shut up, man.
That could be fun.
Hey, boo-boo, you want to get a chicken egg basket?
Winner, chicken dinner.
Speaking of more business stuff, we'll get the business stuff out of the way so we could talk about games in a second. But
That'd be the other Fortnite thing.
huh?
I thought it'd be the other Fortnite thing.
Sure, you can go ahead, Duke. Fortnite.
I just think it's goofy. Fortnite finally is putting out a vehicle, and it's a friggin' shopping cart that you can ride. This is an example of why this game is succeeding where PUBG is failing, because it's just so stupid.
Yeah.
It still works like a normal vehicle. You can have one person like ride it, like just push and jump in it, and then the other person can shoot from the passenger seat, quote unquote.
I love this.
So yeah, it is, which is basically the little basket in the front where you put kids in a shopping cart. By the way,
You're not supposed to put your kids in there.
I know, but that's where people put kids.
It's. I hate people.
I
that
don't
do-
care.
I hate people that do that. I fucking hate it.
Well,
Just
I
like,
hate
don't
people.
care.
So
I'm a stickler for the rules. It says it right there on the shopping cart. Don't put your kids in the fucking big basket. Put them
That
in the
makes
small
it front
basket.
heavy. And if you come to a sudden stop, what's gonna happen then?
Kill your
Use
kid.
groceries, man.
the more people that just like accidentally, the more stupid people that just accidentally let their kids die, the less stupid adults there will be.
You gotta.
Anyway,
When I when I was in my early 20s, we used to steal shopping carts and just ride them, like in the
Yeah.
front and on the sides. It was fun.
Well,
But don't do that.
the
But don't be a
Jackass era.
parent and do that.
anyway, this is just goofy. It's also being introduced with a new mushroom consumable that basically gives you 5 shields, which seems absurd.
That is absurd.
And some like quality of life improvements and things like that. But like they were hyping up like vehicles coming to Fortnite for a while, and what we got was just like you can ride the shopping cart now, and it's so Fortnite.
It is.
But anyway, we can move on.
Alright. Let me talk about this boring news story about NetEase, a Chinese company, buying a minority stake in Bungie for $100 million. So according to a report from GamesIndustry.biz, NetEase invested more than $100 million in the studio. Bungie posted about the deal on its own site, saying, in part, the partnership will help us explore new directions with their industry expertise. They'll empower us to build new worlds and invite players, new and old, to join us here. They'll help us support separate teams inside Bungie to bring out our newest ambitions to life. So, what do y'all think?
I think this could be a good thing, depending on how much creative freedom Bungie actually has. I don't know though. I mean, I don't know. Don't ask me though. Like Bungie burned me recently.
Yeah. NetEase is a titan in its native China, operating a host of its own mobile and PC games, as well as managing the licenses of several Western games, including Blizzard's Overwatch, World of Warcraft, and StarCraft, and Mojang's Minecraft.
I'm honestly not concerned because like China is just really new to gaming, so they're trying to make their pushes out there, and yeah, they do it in some sleazy ways because their mobile gaming industry is way bigger than anything else. But I feel like making a push for a big company like Bungie is a good sign that they're trying to do things differently now, because all they've really known is mobile gaming before, and now they actually have like legal console gaming and stuff like that. And so they're trying to make those bigger pushes, and no one's just going to willingly go over there and say, hey, we'll make this game for you, for your mobile-only audience. Like, they have to make their own, you know, risks and try and get the audience up there. Because there's people thirsty for, like, you know, bigger experiences over there. But
Yeah.
we'll have to see. The only thing we know is that it won't affect Destiny. So, I mean, that's what Bungie's been doing for the last few years. I mean, that's not changing. So whatever we get will be new, whether it's a dumb mobile thing that no one cares about or something like crazy new and becomes a, you know, another huge thing. We'll just have to see. But a new IP from Bungie is never a bad thing, I don't think.
Yeah. It just
think
makes
so.
me think about their past of like how they built up Halo, and then they're like, we're kind of done with Halo. Like they bought themselves out of acquisition from Microsoft,
Mm-hmm.
and then they went on with their partnership with Activision and made Destiny. And I'm just thinking, are they going to do the same thing, or like the head's going to get tired of Destiny after a while? Especially like, I feel like they just can't catch a break with like no one says anything nice about Destiny ever.
Well, aren't they contracted to do at least 2 more games after
Are
Destiny
they?
2?
I guess they are.
I think they are. Yeah,
So-
I think they still owe Activision 2 more Destiny games, I believe.
Does their big DLC count, or is that just
I don't know. That's
maybe
a good
not.
question.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a numbered Destiny. But yeah, like it just makes me think that they might get tired after a while with Destiny, and then Activision will make their own Destiny thing. Like they'll buy Destiny, the IP from them, and just have a studio work on it.
Studio.
Yeah. Yeah. So this will probably impact in like 2 years. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You guys got anything for me?
Speaking of things that'll probably impact in like 2 years, the core Pokemon games for Switch
All right.
are reportedly still coming, like probably end of next year. So 2 years. That works.
All right,
Yeah,
Justin.
close enough.
This is the Pokemon corner. Take it away.
I'm okay with that.
The Pokemon.
So yeah, hella Pokemon stuff was announced recently, but we're gonna start with the core games because that was the transition, and we're already here. So there was some announcements about some upcoming Pokemon games, and it was basically confirmed that none of what's coming right now, or soon, are the actual core Pokemon games that are still going to Switch, and will be the 8th generation. Those, basically the producer, Masuda, I don't know how to say his first name, Junichi, I don't know, said, now today I can only tell you of its existence, as in like 8th gen, but it's another game we're pouring all of our creativity into, and that I don't know if this is related to the core games or not. The series will also follow in the tradition of Pokemon X and Y and Pokemon Sun and Moon, in which I assume it means there'll be 2 versions. So yeah, just like I'm going to get into some other Pokemon games that were announced like at the same time, and I just want it to be clear that nothing that was announced is the next core Pokemon games. I know some people were kind of upset with like the games that we got, and they're like, "Oh, well, this isn't the Pokemon I want, so I'm out." But like, they're a stopgap. They're literally like, crap, we need to get some Pokemon games out for the Switch this year. And I mean, it sounds like they've been in development for a while, and they actually look pretty cool. But like, they're very different than what we would expect from next gen Pokemon. So I think they needed to make this announcement. But yeah. Anyway, what we're actually getting, well, technically what's already out is Pokemon Quest, which is a free-to-play downloadable title on Switch, and will also be coming to mobile later this year. And it's kind of weird. I haven't tried it yet. Honestly, I'm kind of hesitant to. It's like kind of a Pokemon like battler type like gauntlet game, where you don't move the Pokemon. Like you have a team of 3, and they're all kind of like cubic style. Like not like it's not like a Minecraft type game, but everything has kind of that like you said voxel, like squared off design to it, including friggin' Voltorb, which is specifically a ball. Just bothers me. Some of the designs are okay, but when the whole point of them is that they're a ball and now they're a cube, it's just a little annoying. But yeah, you basically you set your team of 3. You collect different ones as you play through the game, and like they have their attacks or whatever. You can like modify some of that stuff through like buffs and things that you kind of give them between battles. But then you just take them into the level, and they like auto move towards enemies, and then you just like tap like one of I think 3 different attacks. Like each Pokemon has their own attack, So like you have three attacks on screen. You tap whichever one against the enemies, and like they auto attack. It doesn't look that great, honestly, but I've been hearing it's not terrible from people that have played it so far, and it's free, so I mean it's worth a shot if you want to check it out. Yeah. But yeah, right now it's only on Switch, but it will be on mobile later, and I think it might be more of a casual mobile game for me because I don't want to like boot up my Switch, go into the game just for like a little like auto play like tap to attack type game. But I'd probably check it out on mobile. And then the actual like proper quote unquote games that were announced, which again are not the core games, but they are like full Pokemon games, are the rumored for a while Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. The reason these are not like full on like core games is that they're technically kind of a remake of Pokemon Yellow. You're back in Kanto. You start the game as with either Pikachu or Eevee, depending on which version you have. And you're just going through Kanto, catching Pokemon, doing gym battles, trainer battles, things like that. But there's some noticeable changes in these. For one, there's no wild battles. All of the wild Pokemon show up on screen. Like you can see them in the grass and things like that. Oh. And you don't fight them. You just catch them like Pokemon Go. So it makes those move a lot quicker, but there's also like, I assume you don't get proper experience or anything in the game. So I'm not entirely sure. Like they haven't officially announced everything yet, but I'm hoping it's not like Pokemon Go style where you have like combat power or whatever. I'm hoping there's still like proper levels and stuff like that. But you just only get like maybe you get experience from catching them, but then you also get experience like from trainer battles or something like that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But we'll see how that works later. They haven't settled it yet. But yeah, so you only catch things in the wild, but then you still have traditional battles in the form of trainer battles or online against other people, things like that. Like all of that stuff is still in there. Online battles, online trading, all of that. Like I said, I assume there's still gym battles. They didn't show it, but there is still that traditional stuff. They've just kind of streamlined the like running around in the wild and catching Pokemon type thing, which I don't mind, honestly, because it's a different kind of game. I wouldn't want that in the core games, but I don't mind them kind of like speeding that process up because the point of these games is to lure Pokemon Go players into like how Pokemon games actually play. And so it's kind of like it's combining those two ideas together to create something that's a little quicker, a little less involved for the casual player, which is why a lot of hardcore fans aren't like super into this. But yeah, I mean, it is Pokemon still. Like you're running around, it looks very much like an HD version of like Sun and Moon as far as the graphical style. And it looks great, honestly. Like, I mean, it's not what I'd want from next gen. I'd want something a little bit more like actually built for Switch. But like as far as just like turning these like that engine into HD, it looks amazing. Despite some like the battles kind of looking like the Pokemon Go backgrounds and stuff. But the rest of the game looks great.
I've got two questions for you.
Okay.
One, what do you think about that Pokeball controller?
I was getting to that.
Okay.
Second question.
What do you think about Eevee replacing Pikachu as the mascot?
I mean, it's not replacing; it's alongside. You can do either.
Well, I know you hate Pikachu. I'm just saying.
I am totally getting the Eevee version.
Okay.
But not just because I hate Pikachu. Like I do, but also like if you're thinking about the character you'd want to take through the entire game, like why would you choose Pikachu over Eevee? Eevee has so much more potential for evolutions and stuff, like as far as typings and stuff like that is concerned. Because like this isn't like Gen 1. Like it's in Kanto, you only have the original 151 plus the Alolan versions, which is kind of a weird stipulation to make. And you can actually transfer, I'll get to your questions in a second. Yes, you can actually transfer Gen 1 Pokemon from Pokemon Go into this game, but you can't transfer them the other way. It's like once they're in the game, they can't go back. Which is still interesting. Like the Pokemon Go integration of this, I think is one of the best parts of it, honestly.
Pretty neat.
But yeah, so as far as like having a companion with you, and like the potential for like, you know, evolving an Eevee, or really, I mean, you could even just like start with Pikachu and then like send a bunch of Eevees from your Pokemon Go game over, because Eevees are crazy popular in Pokemon Go, and then have like a full team of like a Pikachu, and then like, you know, well, I guess really it'd just be Flareon and Vaporeon, because you wouldn't necessarily want Jolteon if you already have Pikachu. But my point is, I would probably just put 3 Eevees in the game, have Vaporeon, Flareon, and Jolteon on my team, and toss Pikachu in the trash where he belongs. But yeah, like there's a lot of potential there. And the catching mechanics in the game, like the wild battles, quote unquote, work just like in Pokemon Go. You have your Joy-Con, you fling it, it throws the ball, like there's the, you know, the circle closes in, and that's it. Like it either catches it or it doesn't. It doesn't look like there's all of the like angle and stuff, like the annoying stuff that's in the mobile version, which I hate. Because like I'm always running like one-handed on the way to work or something, and like it veers to the right every single time. So I hope it's literally just like a, you know, timing thing where you just like you fling forward and it always goes forward. But I think with a Joy-Con anyway, like even if it does take direction into account, it would be way easier than using your thumb. But yeah, that's like straight up from the actual Pokemon Go stuff. Battles are traditional, like Pokemon battles, where you have your 4 attacks. You know, Pokemon versus Pokemon. There's no like dodging and swiping and all that. Like it's just Pokemon battles, which is cool.
Is catching Pokemon just fishing?
Kind of.
And you hate fishing, but you love Pokemon.
I mean, I don't like the catching of Pokemon in Pokemon Go. But, like, one of my least favorite parts of Pokemon is, like, the grind, you know, between the actual important stuff.
Yeah.
So if I can see the Pokemon that are running around, which I would love that feature to carry on, even though I'd prefer them not to do, like, the Pokemon Go style catching. But like if I can see the Pokemon like running around in the grass, so I don't go to the ones that I don't care about, like that would be a game changer.
Yeah. Cool.
So that fact alone, like, you know, running up to one, knowing what you're getting into a battle with, throwing a Pokeball, catching it, and moving on, like that sounds great. It's way quicker. I just wish it was still battles with them once you get in.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're getting in the weeds here. The Pokemon Go integration in here is what's really cool, I think. It's actually gotten me back into Pokemon Go again. But the other cool thing of this that's totally new is drop in, drop out co-op. It's only local, but like you can play the entire game with like a single Joy-Con. So you can hand the other one to a friend, spouse, whatever, and they can play the entire game with you as essentially a clone. So if you're the male trainer, they're always the female trainer. They just kind of join in as the opposite, like whatever you are. In battle, they take, like, it basically makes it a 2-on-1 Pokemon battle, or I'm sure there are double battles also. But, like, it's always, you know, whoever's in the first 2 positions, you're 1, they're 1. So they're just joining into your game, taking your Pokemon, all of that. You can still have multiple game files, apparently, which is also new. It was kind of buried in the headlines and stuff. This is, I think, the first Pokemon game where you can actually have multiple save files.
Nice.
But yeah, everything in the game basically works as the second player is just following you along in your game. So they're a passive participant, but they can also leave whenever they want and then pop back in. So it's really cool. I love that idea. And that's kind of what has sold me on the game. Because like there's a lot of stuff in it that's kind of weird. But like knowing that like this is Gen 1, which is really the only thing my wife ever cared about, and like has multiplayer, maybe I can get her to play with me. Which doesn't happen very often. So I'll take the chance. But yeah, the other new thing in this is the Pokeball accessory. And I actually kind of like it. Like, it's goofy, but it's also like probably the best accessory that they've ever had for a Pokemon game. Because it's actually a fully functional Joy-Con. So like you can play the entire game with just that Pokeball accessory if you want.
That's cool.
Like without ever undocking your Joy-Con from the system. So it's like the center of the Pokeball is the analog stick. It clicks in like I think it's basically the A button, and there's also a button on top of it that you can push in. And then it's got all the gyros and stuff in it. I think there's a few other buttons on it. I was looking on the site to kind of get an idea of like what actually, like if it's actually like, you know, you could use it in other games, or if like this game is kind of built to use it. And I wasn't quite clear on that, but I think it's fully functional. But yeah, you can also like put a Pokemon into the ball, you know, digitally, obviously. And when you take it out and about, it like makes noises and stuff when you move it, and like it has the HD rumble in there, so you can like feel it move around on the ball. All of that stuff is kind of dumb gimmicks, but it's fun for kids and stuff.
Yeah.
But it can also like it can get things while it's out. So there's rumors that there's going to be Pokemon Go integration in this, where like for Pokemon Go, there's like that the little like step tracker thing that you can get that pairs to it through Bluetooth, and like will continue, you know, your steps and stuff like that, even when you're not actively in the game. And also like you can catch Pokemon with it, like it lights up colors and stuff. This is that, but like it also works with the, you know, the new game. Whereas that step tracker thing just worked with Pokemon Go. So there's a lot of really cool stuff in there. And like I like the appeal of it because like I walk around a lot and like I don't want to have the game open all the time. It's a battery drain. Right. But you get way more candies and stuff like that if you have that option. So the fact that this fully works in Pokemon Go and also has some cool functions in the game, I'll probably check it out if it's not like $70. Which if it's a fully functional Joy-Con, it might be. But I don't think it's going to sell very well if it's $70.
Right.
If it's like in the 30 to 40 range, yeah, I'll pick it up with the game. Why not? It sounds pretty cool. But it's not necessary, but it's also, like I said, it's probably the best accessory they've had. The only other kind of cool one was that old step tracker that I think came out with like the Ruby and Sapphire remakes, I think.
I thought it was gold and was it silver? Soul Silver?
It was a remake, I know that. But it might have been the gold and silver remakes.
Yeah.
Because that actually had like a screen on it, and like you could kind of have it like be a little Tamagotchi type thing.
I remember because I wanted to buy that at one point.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I never got it, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like as a half measure, like just something to tide us over until the core games come out. I think there's a lot of really smart mechanics in here that I'd like to see in future games. Yeah. It's not perfect, and I'm not a huge fan of Gen 1. Like I'm kind of over Kanto, but also like I'm into it. I'll check it out. Unless like the only reason I wouldn't check it out is if they announce more of the Pokemon Go stuff, and like it's actually got like all of the microtransaction integration in it, and like, you know, the need for Stardust and all that crap for evolutions, and like that would kind of kill it for me. I want a traditional like level up evolution type thing, but with the Pokemon Go like capture and, you know, transfer mechanics in there. Because realistically, you could transfer a Pokemon over and it would just transfer in like at a level, like based on its, you know, combat power or whatever.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't matter. Like you don't have to just have you don't have to have the game use combat power just because Pokemon Go uses that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that works, but I think it'll be fine. I'm excited. And it comes out in November. I think I forgot to mention that, but it's like November 16th or something.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So good holiday game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy you're excited.
Yeah. And I really do think that it's for a different audience. Like it's going to be a good way to bring people into Pokemon.
Yeah.
Kind of like Black and White was like a lot of people's first Pokemon game. Like people talk about those games the way that we talked about Kanto.
Yeah.
You know? Like it was a game where like you only had that set of Pokemon to start with. You didn't get any others until you beat the game. So it's like that was a lot of people's first generation. So now we're getting back to the point where it's like people from Pokemon Go that really only know like Gen 1 through maybe 3, if they've kept up with it, are going to try this game out, like buy a Switch and try this, and it'll be their first actual experience with like proper Pokemon. So it makes sense that they're kind of trying to bridge that gap. And then like there's going to be that much of a bigger audience for the core Pokemon games. So even the ones that don't care about these should be excited for it just because like they're going to have more people to like trade and play with when those games come out next year.
Yeah. As someone who doesn't really care about Pokemon, I like seeing the stuff that they showed.
Yeah. It's more casual.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of other games that were also announced this past week.
Like,
let's actually get past the one that doesn't matter as much. Lego DC Supervillains.
All right.
A sequel to the Lego DC games where the Justice League is like gone. And the Injustice League has taken over like the Gotham Metropolis, like all that area.
Dude, where's my Justice League?
They're gone.
But
where's your Justice League, dude?
Dude, where's Justice League?
Anyway, the Injustice League, led by like the Joker, Harley Quinn, Deathstroke, etc., are the main characters of the game, and there's kind of a new team of like budget superheroes called the Justice Syndicate that are trying to take them down. So this is going to be basically like the Lego Marvel whatever game, but for DC, with all like the more obscure heroes and stuff brought in to have a wacky roster of everyone. But I always like the idea of like the villains taking over, so this kind of appeals to me. But yeah, it's not that exciting. It's just kind of neat that they're taking a different approach to it.
Mm-hmm.
But what is super exciting, friggin' Sonic Racing sequel was officially announced.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
And they were right. It's not a Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing sequel.
Just
like
Sonic,
they weren't trolling us.
That's awesome.
It's called Team Sonic Racing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just Sonic characters, just Sonic stages, which honestly is a little disappointing, but it still looks like it's going to play super well, so that's fine.
It's from Sumo Digital.
Same guy
which
who did the
made
last,
so yeah.
The screenshots I've seen, they look good, and it sounds like there's going to be like a team like racing aspect to this, which sounds really cool.
Like a double dash?
Yeah. How cool would that be?
Because I only see one person per car. But I think it's called that because like it's the Sonic team. Like, that
like
Sonic team is like the people that make the Sonic games. So it's like those like all of the characters from the Sonic team games in a racing game. I don't think it's like you take multiple characters into a race.
Oh, I see.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm a little disappointed. Like, I never really cared about the other like Sega characters in the game. I just liked the more diverse like track locations in the same way that I really enjoy, like Mario Kart 8, for example, because it has like Animal Crossing, F-Zero, Zelda, like more, diverse level selection there. I feel like this just being Sonic stuff is going to be a little lacking in like variety. But I'm also not going to complain about a new Sonic Racing game.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll still have some crossover tracks in there. Hopefully.
I don't know. They've announced 15 playable characters, including obvious ones like Sonic, Tails, and Shadow. And each character will have its own... Well, the characters will be split up into different types, such as power, technique, and speed. And you can also adjust some different things like the performance and look of the cars. So that sounds kind of fun, like having a little more control over each vehicle, kind of in like a Need for Speed type way. Yeah, there's not a lot of information about it yet, unfortunately. But it does look like there's going to be some like some different things in the tracks, like items and upgrades that you can pick up to affect the play. And there will also be an adventure mode, which if it's not like Diddy Kong Racing, I will be disappointed. Because it feels like if they're going to kind of hone in on the Sonic characters, they should like go balls to the wall with like actually having like a Sonic adventure, type like racing mode where you're like running around outside of the car and then like, the missions are getting into a vehicle and doing stuff.
That'd be sweet.
But yeah, I'm kind of worried this is going to be a step back from the Sonic Racing transformed type stuff. Because like people are just in carts. It's just the Sonic people. It feels a lot more like a sequel to Sonic R, which is a terrible game, more than a sequel to Sonic Racing Transformed.
Don't worry, they can add in all the other stuff with DLC down the road.
Shh! Don't talk like that.
Don't even
talk
give
like
me the
that.
idea.
That's gonna happen.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I'm still excited, and I'm sure we'll see more of this at E3. The reveal trailer was like nothing.
Yeah, it was
I wanna
like
see it in
cars.
Yeah. Yeah, it's finally coming. And also another new game announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout 76. They just really like jumped past 4. Like, this was so much better. It's 76 now.
Yeah, they named it 76 based off of the Vault. Vault 76.
No, it's just way better than 4.
All right. Go ahead.
No, this is going to be, like you said, it takes place in Vault 76, which apparently was like a vault that was like a control group. So there wasn't any crazy stuff like experiments or anything happening there. Yeah. It was literally just supposed to be like a paradise.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was built there to exist as like the people that would repopulate the earth after the fallout was over. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people have been kind of waiting for something to happen with this vault for a while, because it sounds like what would basically be like a pure sequel to Fallout. Like, you're not an escape artist or anything. It's just like rebuilding society after it all. Mm-hmm. And so we're finally getting that. But it seems like it's going to be an online MMO type like survival game. Kind of makes sense because you have a lot more people to deal with a control vault being opened and all the people being released from it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Fallout universe is like perfect for an online MMO type thing.
Sure.
But I know a lot of people are disappointed because it's not like the next Fallout. And it's just, it's a Rust game, okay. But I don't know. There's been mods and stuff to make a multiplayer Fallout. So if that's what this is, like, I don't see why people complain.
That'd be cool. That'd be sweet.
See, here's what it is. It says here that this vault was occupied by 500 people who were meant to be the control group, just like you said. So they're gonna have 500 vault dwellers come out of the vault, all have to fight each other in one giant map.
Don't you dare stop.
BG Dad nailed it with his Fallout Battle Royale.
Yep.
Photoshop.
I didn't get to see that yet. Oh man,
it was great.
It
actually went viral a little bit. People were mad at him. Some random guy blocked him because he's like, "Don't even joke about this."
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Nerds get passionate. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like gaming, wrestling, and comic book nerds are all like super vilely passionate. I guess I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm cautiously optimistic about this.
Yes. Same here.
Me too.
I don't like it being compared to Rust because I just had really bad experiences with Rust.
I just feel like it's kind of a shallow comparison to make too.
I've heard it's more. I heard that there was like an AMA where someone asked him about it, and he said it's more like New Vegas than anything, like in the portfolio.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that makes sense. New Vegas is more lively.
Yeah.
So yeah, being developed by Bethesda,
I know there was
GamesWorks. Sorry, go ahead.
I know there's a Jason Schreier tweet, like basically saying like anyone expecting like in a few weeks at E3 to get like the next proper single player like traditional Fallout game to be announced, will be very disappointed.
Yeah.
So it sounds like he knows like the inside scoop of like kind of what Fallout 76 is going to be.
Yeah.
And to give it everyone's expectations in line with what that it won't be a single player experience. So that's really all we know about it.
It says here that it's partially set in the year 2102 at least, so it's like the first canonically Fallout game before all the other Fallout games.
and will probably take place in Virginia.
Yeah, because of the song.
Yeah.
Country roads.
And there was never really any specification of like where this vault was, so I mean it's not outside of the realm of possibility.
Yep. That's pretty much all we know about it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Fallout 76.
Yeah.
I enjoy ESO. I know it's not going to be like an MMO, or well, there's no indication that they're saying it's an MMO. It's just an online survival game.
We should make more sense again.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be an MMO.
Right.
But like The Forest or something, where there's like kind of a loose story to do, but you're mostly like just free to explore and like, you know, interact with people.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot. We're gonna know more at E3, and I'm looking forward to it.
I was kind of wanting like the next New Vegas or something, but I mean, if this is more like totally similar to New Vegas, but also an online RPG, that might be the best version of what I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, for what I wanted out of Fallout was probably just a sharpened up, better single player game. Honestly, 'cause, like probably what most people wanted out of it.
I mean, Fallout 4 felt really hollow to me, like as a single player game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I want another single player game in the Fallout 4 engine.
Yeah, I don't know what it was that just drove me away from it. Like I tried it so many times. Maybe it's just like the characters or something about it. That
I think it was too empty.
Yeah, I don't think it was too empty. I just thought there's like maybe it's just like the characters in the story I didn't care about.
It was like I felt like the interactions with the characters were very lacking especially when you compare it to something like New Vegas. Like every character you talk to, most of the characters you talk to in that game, like it's like, oh yeah, that guy. Like, and it's just like whereas with Fallout 4, it's just kind of like, oh, I'm going to tell you about this thing that is over there. I will mark it on your map for you. Oh, okay, cool.
I just didn't get any of that zaniness out of it that I like in my Fallout games. Like
personality.
Yeah, like there was like one really cool like ship mission that I've told people about. That's pretty cool, but that's about it. In Fallout 3, you can start that game by nuking a town. It's fucking amazing. Like there's nothing like that.
And New Vegas, you can choose to like team up with the raiders of the town and like destroy everyone in the town that like revived you and brought you back to health.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fallout 4, you can make settlements.
Yeah.
You have a dog,
which isn't even fun to do.
Making stuff is not as good as destroying stuff.
No.
No.
And then you have to defend the settlements after you've made them, and that's not fun either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fallout 4 was super disappointing.
So yeah, that'll be the show.
I did want to talk about the PS4 sale that's going to happen.
Oh
real
yeah,
quick.
that's right.
Yeah, just to end it off on, just because it's nice to have some discounts. But the Days of Play, which apparently is like a yearly thing that I'd never heard of before, is going to be happening on for like the PlayStation community from June 8th to the 18th, with a lot of discounts on various games and services, but also an exclusive Days of Play limited edition PS4 that's like this really nice blue color, but then has like awful graphics of the 4 buttons on it. And then a really nice blue controller, which is just a normal blue PS4 controller, but I still kind of want one. But yeah, it's a standard PS4. It's not a Pro or anything. And it's $299.99. I assume that's normal price. But yeah, some of the highlights of the sale I wanted to talk about was they're doing some discounts on like the VR bundles and stuff. So the PlayStation VR will be $200 American, and the various controllers are going to be, or the DualShock 4 controllers are going to be $40. And then some new games, or newer old games, I should say, that'll be on sale. God of War, like the new God of War, will be $50, which is awesome because I was like literally going to get that when I get paid, and it's right in that sale. So hey, I saved $10 on the game I was going to get anyway. Horizon Zero Dawn is down to $20, which I thought it was normally, but I guess it wasn't. Shadow of the Colossus is down to 20. And then PlayStation Plus is down to 50 for the 12 year. So I think that's
the 12 month.
12. Yes, for the 12 month.
year.
I did say 12 year. $50 for 12 years.
That's a steal, man.
But yeah, I think it's normally 60, right? I want to say. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
The only one that has PS Plus is in Canada. Yeah, I think it's normally 60, so it's $10 off, which is still a big deal. I mean, it doesn't go on sale very often. And then PlayStation View is also on sale, but that thing's garbage. And there'll be various like digital titles also on sale throughout that time. And I'm sure PlayStation Plus like members will get better discounts on some of those digital titles and stuff also.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's going to run right around E3 time. So I'm sure there's going to be some announcements to go along with that at E3. Yeah. I don't know, maybe new games that will be like available like that day, or like discounts on pre-orders, or something like that. It seems weird that like that's running right during E3 time. There's got to be something they're going to announce for it.
Oh yeah,
but
I would hope so.
Yeah, it's always good when there's some good discounts happening.
Yeah.
So that's the show.
Oh yeah, I wanted to do new releases again, so I forgot the last few weeks. Yeah, coming out next week is Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. Happy birthday! It's everyone I've ever heard says Blaze Blue. You're the only person that ever says Blaze Blue, and you're telling me that I'm wrong.
I was corrected, and I don't even like those games, so I don't have a skin in this game. I was just letting you know that it's BlazBlue.
I'm pretty sure Ben says BlazBlue as well.
Yeah, he's the professional. He's the professional.
He is the professional. He's the resident.
I've listened to many
guy.
Listen, I have two friends that are super anime fighting game people. They always say BlazBlue. They never say BlazBlue. I say both, and they're just like, just say Blaze. Like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, all right. Anyways, for the Switch, we have Happy Birthdays. I have no idea what that is.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Nice.
Nobunaga's Ambition Tashi, Onrush, that seems kind of cool for PS4 or Xbox One. I want to see what that is.
Dynasty Warriors?
Onrush. Isn't that the racing game?
Oh, you just said Nobunaga, I thought.
Oh. And then we have Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn, coming to the Windows.
Yeah.
Nintendo, PS4, Xbox One. So look forward to that. The Elder Scrolls Online Somerset coming to the consoles. Vampire, which I've heard a lot about, I just haven't seen anything on it, is coming out. I requested a code because I just hear a lot of like good positive buzz so far. Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr, and that's for June 5th. 7th will be Flashback Remastered Edition for the Switch, and the Banner Saga 2 for the Switch. And that's it. Oh, Sushi Striker coming out June 8th. So, the day that you're listening to this for the public. All right. Justin, where can people find your stuff?
I am on YouTube and Twitter as Zero Score. Just look that up. I don't want to tell you anything about the underscore because it's dumb and I hate it. Just look for Zero Score.
0_score. Nope. Low.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Nero the Hero, N3R0THEN or H3R0. Sorry. Oh wow, I messed that one up. It's been a while since I've done that. You can also find me on YouTube you can also find me on YouTube, Nero the Hero, just all letters. And yeah, you can also find me here at Charge Shop with the Charge Shop Boys.
And you can find me, your host Thomas, on Twitter at CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also find me at chargeshot.com with the audio, video, and written content. You can also email me, Thomas at chargeshot.com. And until then, guys, enjoy your games. Good night. Or good day.
Sweet dreams.
Whichever.
Good day to you.
We exist outside of time and space, so it doesn't matter what time it is for you.
Good whatever it is where you're at right now.
So yeah, again, now that we're not recording and it's not incriminating